And
Maybe that's how.
we're up.
We're live, yay!
We are up and
Welcome
live.
back, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary bros and hoes. We are back. Two captains, one pod.
What kind of pod we're in, you decide.
As you can see, we've got Ensign Lumen here with us again, and joining Ensign Lumen is crew member Shy. Crew member because Shy knows nothing about Star Trek. So along with you guys, Shy will be learning a lot tonight. Or little to nothing, because we actually don't teach shit.
Hey, we did some school.
Check out last week's
time.
episode if you want to learn shit.
Right?
that was our educational episode. That's all you get.
One episode, no other education.
Nope.
This week has been rough for me personally, so I'm just gonna say it. I didn't do homework. I didn't continue my homework watching of Voyager's season 1 and 2. So I've got some articles pulled up so that we could read those and get through Voyager. But you know, two kids. Okay, don't come for me. All right, if you're not a parent, you don't understand. And if you are a parent, you get it. Don't come for me. Just send me a shot of vodka. Or a 50 cal, whichever you have, whichever works easier for you.
Take your pick.
Just send me a shot.
Ugh.
But we're gonna get into it. Voyager's season 1, season 2, the first female captain that gets her own show.
Yes.
In Starfleet. Because we've seen, let's see, Captain Rachel Garrett, right, is captain of the Enterprise C.
Yep.
And we saw her in Next Generation. We've seen a couple female captains since then, and I think one before then, right? Wasn't there one in the original series? Possibly, maybe.
I don't think so.
Perhaps.
Yeah. But
I know there was
we've seen
a
some female captains before.
Female Romulan
we-
commander, but I don't know if that counts.
Yeah. But, you know, we've seen some female captains before, but this is the first time we're focusing on a female captain for an entire show, run 7 seasons. And it's one of those series, it's a lot like Deep Space Nine. You either love it or you hate it. There is honestly, I mean, there's very few in between. You know, most fans did not like it. And then those fans that did, it's arguably because Janeway's hot and Jerry Ryan's even hotter. But I digress. It's still a pretty good show.
Yeah.
And Janeway, the bad bitch of the galaxy. So, also, guys, we have some new sounds we're to be doing. We're splitting this up into segments. We're looking more official now, guys. It's gonna be great.
Something like that.
So, you know, the first sound we're gonna have you guys hear is our article sound. So, John, go ahead, cue the article sound. Let's get into it.
The article sound.
Red alert, all hands. And with it being a red alert, this is why we chose this to be the article sound for you guys, because we have a screen rant.
And let me guess.
Warning.
Chris?
Warp core breach a lot sooner than you think.
No, it is not by Chris. This is by Sean Corley. We've read a couple of his before. Sean, as we know, does majority of the comics. He focuses on the comics and books universe. But this is not Voyager in any way. It's just something caught my eye earlier this week, so I wanted to read it. Star Trek confirms one of its original alien species is now officially extinct. So Star Trek just revealed that a species stretching back to the original series is now officially extinct. In Star Trek's 3-season run, it introduced a number of fantastic alien races, ranging from the Klingons to the Talassians. Each race was indicative of how diverse and far-reaching the Star Trek universe is. However, one powerful godlike race has seemingly met its end in Star Trek Omega. Star Trek Omega was written by Christopher Cantwell, Jackson Lansing, and Colin Kelly, and drawn by a bevy of all-star Star Trek artists. Talir, who in a previous arc revealed themselves to be one of the last of the Organians, is penning a letter to Lily Sato. Talir tells Lily that their people are gone and that they are the last of their kind. Starfleet science confirms Talir's suspicions. So yeah, there we go. The Organians are gone. And Star Trek canon, as far as the
Very
comics
interesting
go.
development.
So get back to
As the
this
Organians are responsible for at least a cessation of hostilities at the time of the original series between the Federation and Klingon.
Right. So let me find the other one I got going for us. Okay, here we go. This is LizTellsFrank.com, posted by a Liz Tells Frank guest writer. They don't have a name, but it's Star Trek Voyager Season 1, the Skip It, Watch It guide. So I kind of figured this might be interesting because I have no idea what their personal views on Voyager are. So this might be one of the greatest public services Liz Tells Frank has ever performed, and I say that as a Star Trek fan. The Skip It, Watch It guide comes courtesy of Whitney Bishop, who has found herself in the midst of watching the Trek universe's voyage into progressive gender roles and volunteered for this most sacred of tasks. Godspeed Whitney, Godspeed Liz. The fourth series in Star Trek universe, Voyager, was an attempt to boldly go where nobody else we'd seen had gone yet, though in a manner that was pretty familiar. Long story short, a Starfleet ship goes looking for Maquis. They're the anti-Cardassian resistance / terrorists. If you missed that bit, the Maquis ship, both ships get pitched to the other side of the galaxy, the Delta Quadrant, dear God, as opposed to the Alpha Quadrant we all know and love. Survivors of both crews wind up on the same ship, the Voyager, and they have to band together, despite their differences, to travel the 70,000 light years back home. On the way, they have wacky adventures. So wacky, so incredibly wacky. I feel like that's a fair enough breakdown. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm comfortable reading that. That's honestly probably the best breakdown of Voyager you're going to get.
Probably.
As they were airing, I watched the first 2 or 3 seasons of Voyager, give or take. I honestly can't remember now. That's how much of an impression it didn't make on me. I like some of the characters, but on the whole, I found the situation silly, the crisis repetitive, and so many of the references obnoxiously and improbably 20th century US centric. Can you fuck off, Google? I don't need to know that I'm your 5 billionth search. Piss off. Plus, I was an honor student in high school and could only follow so many ridiculous TV shows at the time. I'm looking at you, anything Chris Carter created. So my viewing of it fell by the wayside and nothing more came of it. Now, you can definitely, if you didn't know, this is word for word what is in this article, because I sure as shit, one, was not alive enough to watch Voyager season 1, 2, and 3 as it came out. Nor was I in high school at that time, nor was I an honor student when I did go to high school. I took one honors class and that was it. And I like ridiculous, wacky TV. So However, two things have happened recently that made me decide to give the series a fair shake. The first is that the recent Star Trek movies Villain Debacle, full thoughts about which can be found at here. There's a little link there, blah, blah, has gotten my friends and me talking about all sorts of Trek, old and new. The second is that my wife, who was a fan of the 7 of 9 era of Voyager, largely for the lesbian possibilities inherent in the casting, has recently allowed me to subject her to the entire run of my dearest, sincerest love, Deep Space Nine. Okay, I'm fucking with this person. They love Deep Space Nine. You fuck off, Google. God damn it. I gotta go back to where I was at. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm fucking with them. Let's go. With that much boldly going in this household and the whole series up on Netflix, I suppose it was bound to happen. All of which is to say, what you have here are the opinions of a diehard DS9 fan who only has the vaguest idea of what happens much past the start of Voyager's 4th season. Take with all the grains of Nimian sea salt you need. Star Trek Voyager Season 1, the Skip It, Watch It guide. Number 1, the 2, Caretaker. Watch it. Of course you watch it. It's the first episode. Yeah. Marvel at how these two desperate crews are forced together in a single ship. Grow fond of the wacky new alien friends and foes. Start to notice that most things meant to remind people of home could be featured on stuffwhitepeoplelike.tumblr.com. Fair enough. I'm watching it right now while editing this post, and I gotta say, it holds up in a most intriguing way. It's certainly much weirder than I remember, like super weird. Number 3, Parallax. Watch it. Assuming, of course, you like B'Elanna, as you should. She and Janeway get to butt heads here a lot. Plus, once you've seen it, you can skip in good conscience all the other oh no, ship stuck in weird space thing. What do episodes, of which there are a great deal.
Yeah, there are quite a few of those in Voyager.
I love. I'm sorry, I'm vibing wholeheartedly with the way she writes this post. I'm vibing with Whitney right now. I'm good. Let's go. Number 4, time and again, skip it. An astonishing number of Voyager's episodes have to do with time travel. This is not one of the good ones. Phage, skip it, especially if Neelix-focused episodes stick in your craw. Just know that there's a gross-looking alien race out there that will steal your kidneys and leave you in a motel bathtub full of ice. You'll see them again.
The Vidians.
I know what she's talking about. That, God damn it, that's...
Is it bad that even the most general description, I know exactly what she's talking about?
Oh my God.
And they are creepy looking. They are nasty.
Oh fuck yeah.
That's
like,
nasty.
I just want to say, if we are the captains of Task Force HR, this is our admiral. Whitney, who wrote this, is the admiral of Task Force HR. Like, she belongs. Let's go.
She belongs.
The Cloud.
Which, Whitney, if you're out there watching this, congratulations.
Yeah, right? The Cloud, skip it. Oh no, ship stuck in weird space thing, what do?
Right.
Eye of the Needle. Episode 7, Eye of the Needle, watch it. It's nice to see the Romulans being good guys. Yes, Romulans. Leaving the Alpha Quadrant doesn't really mean leaving the Alpha Quadrant. At least not as far as plots go. Also, this episode contains a pretty solid twist that's definitely worth a recommend. Number 8, Ex Post Facto. Skip it. I know I promised to give the series a fair shake, but I was so bored with this one, I turned it off halfway through.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no, a core cast member gets accused of murder by a strange alien race. Who's taking bets on whether or not he did it? Anyone?
I thought it was an okay episode. I like the murder mystery aspect of it. I mean, like I said, like I know, like it's obviously not because he's in other episodes, but
well, that and it's like I love murder mystery episodes, but Star Trek, can we get one where it's not a main cast member? Like, so if like we have to leave them behind, we can totally fucking do it, and like let's do that in an episode.
Well, I think they did kind
number
of have a
9.
murder mystery episode, but it was like it was like in the crew, so it was
Yeah,
completely
yeah.
like contained. It was a
Yeah.
really good episode. I can't think of the episode off the top of my head or where it's at, but
Well, see, number 9, Emanations. I don't fucking whatever the fuck it is. Episode 9, ladies and gentlemen. Skip it. It is with a heavy heart I encourage skipping this one, as it does have Harry Kim doing some cool stuff. But if you like your morals not laid on with a trowel, you'd be better off moving on. Number 10 is Prime Factor. Skip it. So I get that when the main conceit of the show is that your crew is a long way from home and trying to get home, a lot of your episodes are going to promise ways to do that in a trice. And since that is a main conceit of your show, and actually going through on that promise would bring the series to an abrupt end, all attempts are predestined to fail. I get that. But unless you really like Belgians in funny Halo hats, give this a miss. Whitney did a great job in avoiding mentioning Gilligan's Island in this guide, but the comparisons are inevitable. Okay, we got some watch-its now. We're getting some watch-it episodes. Number 11, State of Flux. Watch it. As Who is the Traitor episodes go, it isn't very good about keeping the answer to that question too mysterious, still important to what comes later. Number 12, Heroes and Demons. Watch it. Just to describe it, the episode where the doctor pretends to be Beowulf sounds pretty stupid, but it's actually delightful.
oh, any episode that's like Dr. Central is so good.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I love that holographic asshole.
Like, arguably, McCoy is my top doctor. Crusher's right beneath him. But the doctor takes number 3. Like, hands down. Robert Picardo is one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
Catholics, skip it. I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great. And all of the generic conglomerate Native American Chakotay stuff makes me super uncomfortable. Also, if I were a disembodied consciousness that could control people's bodies, I wouldn't stop at making them push buttons, for the record. 14, Faces. Watch it. Remember the bathtub kidney aliens? They're back.
They're
Plus
back.
some good B'Elanna moments and some good B'Elanna on B'Elanna moments, and a truly horrifying skin graft. Number 15, Jatrell. Skip it. How do you like your Hiroshima metaphors? Laid on thick? Not to toot my own horn or anything, but here comes the sun. Number 16, Learning Curve. Watch it. Tuvok sets out to whip those ragtag Maquis into shape, but learns a lesson about love. Actually, Tuvok is a dick to 4 people who only vaguely deserve it, but learns a lesson about not being a dick to people. Also, cheese.
Yep.
Okay. So if you count the pilot as 2 episodes, that's exactly a 1-to-1 skip-watch ratio, which is not exactly a glowing first season. I don't blame at all the viewers who bailed partway through. It's obviously bitten off more than it could chew in terms of conceit, characterization, and vision, and it's not always fun to watch or masticate. Still, there's definitely gold in them. They're hills, and I said it all wrong, and my southern is getting at me for it. Still, there's definitely gold in them there hills, and the first season of any Star Trek show tends to be the equivalent of its very awkward adolescence, which shouldn't be held against any one human or television series.
That's fair.
Whitney Bishop is editor-in-chief of Showstu Bang Bang. She is also the best for doing this. That is at the end of that particular article. Honestly, again, my first time watching Voyager, I came to it kind of the way Whitney did. It was like okay, some episodes like I'm watching this just so I don't get behind on what's going to come next. But this sucks, you know. But I love the show overall. I love the aspect of the show and the tone of the show, and plus getting Spock being a science officer Vulcan just makes sense for who Vulcans are. Tuvok being an engineering Vulcan just had me fucking laughing.
Not even engineering. I mean, security.
Yeah, security
and tactical. Yeah. He was basically the Worf Voyager, if you think about it. Like, well, not yeah. You get what I mean.
Yeah. But yeah, I fucking, it makes me cackle every time that I think about it. But also, Tim Russell and Leonard Nimoy, two excellent fucking actors that playing characters that arguably show no emotion.
Arguably.
Get us to convey the biggest emotions for them, for their characters. Perfection.
Absolutely. I mean, I love Tuvok as a character. I've always kind of liked him.
Mm-hmm. Our resident Vulcan over here, what's your take? I mean, how much do you know about Voyager? Yeah.
I was muted. I actually don't know much about Voyager. I think it's one of the other ones that I really tried to watch, but my brain didn't like watching it. I don't know why. I just couldn't really find. I couldn't itch that scratch, or I couldn't scratch that itch. That The Last Generation or the Next Generation. Jesus Christ, it's been a day. the Next Generation or the original series or the 2009 films, those scratched a specific itch. I don't think other than, those three things have really. I might be able to watch it now, but when I was first watching everything, not really. I didn't really find enjoyment in watching it. I would always go back to the Next Generation, or I would always go back to the original series. So, and then the guest over here is nothing. No.
I was about to say, yeah, with Voyager, how I would used to watch it back in the day is I'd watch episode 1, and then I'd skip all the way to the episode Scorpion, which is the episode where Seven.
Mm-hmm. I am also working on something for you guys. It's art. It's not done yet, but 2 captains, 1 pod, working on something.
Yeah. Yeah, we Voyager, like the concept of Voyager, it always, when you look at an outside perspective, concept of Voyager, you just have it written down on a piece of paper. Hey, they're chasing a ship. The ship's come along up to something. They're thrown across the galaxy on the far side. Now they got to find their way home. Cool. That sounds fucking awesome. So how quickly are we to let them get home? Oh, it's going to take the entire fucking show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how long is the show going to run? 7 seasons. We're going to have a lot of fucking filler episodes, aren't we? Yep. and that's the hard. I think that's the hardest part about Voyagers, because where Deep Space Nine was hard to watch because it was more or less a soap opera on a space station. They still were able to figure it out and make it work. You still had alien species that would come to the space station, and then you could go through the wormhole. And now, and all that stuff, and then they had the Dominion War. They weren't but 70,000 light years is a long way to travel, and our let's say 70,000 light years, 7 seasons, you're getting back home. That's 10,000 light years a season. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of filler episodes. There's gonna be a lot of, and so the Hope episodes.
I think they travel like the last little bit, like the last like 30 or 40,000 light years. I think they traveled that like the last episode.
Yeah,
Mhm.
right. Like my math was just, this is how it should have done. It's not how they did it.
Right.
But, don't get me wrong. Voyager introduced us to a lot of new alien species that I arguably fucking love.
Mhm.
And a lot of new characters. Neelix, fucking love Neelix. I mean, Neelix to me is Quark from Deep Space Nine. Like, if you don't like him at least a little bit, I don't trust you. That's that. Like, even if you like hating him, you like him enough to hate him. So there you go. I trust you. But, I love Neelix. God, I love Seven. Seven's whole backstory. Jerry Ryan as a person, I could just sit and watch a whole show about 7 of 9. And in all honesty, I would love that. Give me 7 of 9's full fucking story in a show, a movie, I don't care. We've gotten bits and pieces on Voyager, we got bits and pieces in Picard. I want it all laid out.
Give us
Just
Star
like Jerry
Trek
Ryan.
Legacy where Seven's Captain of the Enterprise. As we saw at the end of
Boom.
Picard.
Boom. Also, spoilers.
Yeah, spoiler alert. Oops. Oopsies.
The disrespect.
Man, it's really not a lot that I could honestly say about Voyager. More than what I've ever done.
Yeah.
It's a good show. Not the best show. Not by far. But it has its dedicated fans. I mean, it has its dedicated fans. You can't go to a Star Trek convention without running into a Voyager fan. When people want to throw up who's the better captain, Kirk or Picard, you'll hear in the background, what about Janeway? So
Every time.
you're not a, yeah, they've got their dedicated fan base. Hell, the fan base is so dedicated that Bloomington, Indiana has the statue of Janeway. Did exactly what Kirk did. Riverside Island did Kirk. Bloomington, Indiana did the same thing for Janeway. They did that Riverside did for Kirk, and that wouldn't have been possible without the fans
Mhm.
Of that show. Might have gotten glossed over, just like Cisco's did. I would love to have Cisco's birthplace, out there as a Deep Space Nine fan, but I digress. Whatever. But I'm just not one of those fans, personally. I like the show. That's all I got. It's not the original series to me. It's not Deep Space Nine. It's not the Next Generation. Pretty much from here on out, once we get to the 2009 movies, that's the last little bit I'll be like really gung-ho excited for and talk on for hours. And then I'm gonna die off, and then we're gonna get to Strange New Worlds, and then I'll be back in the conversation, and then it's and then wherever we're going after that, once we get done with the shows. And damn, putting it into perspective like that, shit, we don't have a lot of series left. We're almost at the end of our series trip.
There's still a lot of Trek to talk about. Get us wrong.
Oh yeah. There's still a lot of Trek to talk about. We're not ending the podcast there. That's just, we're ending the series. That's it. Until another one comes out. Whatever. We might move to the comics. Might move to the books. Move somewhere else.
I'd love to
We'll
move to
figure
the
it out.
books. I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, because in all honesty, man, there are so many great Star Trek books out there that they need to be talked about. You know, you get a lot more lore. I mean, well, hell, you of all people know that's where you get your lore from. You get a lot more lore from the fucking books,
From the books than
and
you
shows,
do
movies, and
the
everything.
actual, yeah.
So, well, we've come to the end of Voyager season 1. So there we go, season 1 and 2. 2 2 didn't have 7 of 9, so I don't I didn't really watch it. I will say, because I did watch the first episode of Voyager last week, preparing for the podcast last week when we decided to turn it into the Education Nation.
Mm-hmm.
The setup to have Tuvok as a Maquis. You know, you open up Tuvok's on a Maquis ship. I forgot how badass it was to have Tuvok go undercover. Because what's the one thing we know about Vulcans that is true through all series? The Vulcan cannot lie. So how the fuck is this Vulcan undercover with the Maquis?
Magic.
Exactly. Then again, I just love Tim Russ. Tim Russ has had a phenomenal career. From Spaceballs to Star Trek to iCarly, I've seen Tim Russ my entire fucking childhood. But when asked about me, Tim Russ said he ain't found shit. And honestly, that breaks my heart. What are you looking up?
I'm not looking at anything. I'm just doing some promotion.
I'm trying to ask our honorary crewmate if she has any questions for us, and she's over here going, "No, I don't.
Not yet.
Bruh.
I just need to watch.
Ask them questions. They know everything. Well, not everything, but they know enough that they can educate you."
No. I know everything. I just don't have the answers right now.
I do know everything, and I have the answer.
What's the meaning of life, John?
42.
42.
You right. You right.
He's just like, that was quick. Fuck you guys.
We know. We know.
Oh, I mean, I think Daddy's old. I think he's 7.
God damn it, Joey. Quit fucking following me, you fat ass.
Oh, yes, that's what you wanted to hear, isn't it? Jackasses.
I gotta say, trying to get back to Voyager real quick. I didn't like the uniform. I'm gonna be honest. And maybe that's me having my favorite uniform, probably one of the most out there uniforms, the Monster Maroons. There's a plethora of different looks for them. There's different ways to do it. The ranks, the pips, the squeaks, you name it. You know, the original series, don't get me wrong, I loved it. A little too bland. Next Generation was cool. The D Space Nine, when they got to the black and grays, phenomenal. Loved them. I didn't like the Voyager uniforms. And I'll be honest, all the future uniforms past that, like the current era, the one that's in Picard, I don't like that uniform
One where
either.
it's black and it's got the shoulders and the black undershirt. Yeah, I actually kind of like that one, but there's also several variations on that these days, especially in season 3 of Picard. There's like at least 2 or 3 different variations of quote unquote uniform.
Like the 23.99 one, the one that you have that has like that goes down the sleeves and shit like that. That's cool. That's cool. I just think the little bit of color right here just sucks to me personally. That's my personal opinion. I don't care for it. I like a little bit more flair. I like the color to pop a little bit more. I want, I'm tired of seeing mostly black. The only reason the D Space Nine uniforms get away with it is the fact they've got that nice little band of color right around the wrist that just boom pops right there. Exactly that exact shit. That, and then the way that the color comes up through the gray on the collar. Perfection. It's the only reason I like that uniform, and I say I don't like the mostly black uniforms. It's because the color is able to pop on that a lot more than it does anywhere else on the mostly black uniforms. However, they're not bad. They're not bad uniforms. It just seemed a little lazy to me, in all honesty, to go from multi-color here to now we're just going to put it all on the fucking shoulders and neck area, and now you're all black.
Well, what's funny is those uniforms are basically just these ones flip these colors around.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, I like this one better too, but I do like those uniforms. They're not my favorite by any means, but I do actually kind of like them.
Yeah. I'm just not the biggest fan. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I'll never say that I hate them, but yeah, just not my favorite. Not my biggest. Like I said, I like the TNG one. Honestly, out of all the series, TNG's got to be my favorite. And the reason I say TNG out of the series is because that's technically not, and I'm pointing to you, John, that's technically not a series uniform. It's a movie uniform that was adopted by a series.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't count as a series uniform.
No, I know.
The TNG's got to be my favorite series uniform, other than the flashback episodes in Picard where they show the 23.99 uniform, which has the fucking color going down the goddamn sleeves, because that's just cool as shit.
It's just up here on the shoulders, and then it's got a little bit of color around the sleeves too. It doesn't go all the way down the sleeve though.
Right, yeah. It doesn't go all the way down, but it goes here.
It tapers off just like this one does.
Yeah. And it's got the color here, but then it's got like the extra stripe.
That extra stripe going up the chest or whatever.
Yeah. That outlines itself. It's just fucking sexy to me, honestly. I want to see more of that uniform in practicality.
Mm-hmm.
I do. The Lower Decks uniform, I fucking love that one. The rendition of what looks to be a mix between the Monster Maroon and the TNG uniform. That's exactly what it looks like to me. Is a mix between those two uniforms, and I fucking love it because it just, I could just see myself, getting done after a long fucking shift on the starship, get in my quarters and just rip it open like that and just let my shit air out for a minute, And maybe that's my big problem with the Voyager uniform is it's a fucking one piece.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to unzip that motherfucker all the way out to even get a little bit of air breathability in there. Got me fucked up. I'm not limber enough for that shit. I'm not limber enough for that shit. I quit being limber when I graduated high school, okay? I found food found me, and we've had a happy relationship ever since. Going 10 years strong.
That's one way to put it.
Exercise was just too abusive for me. I'm about to say something. You know what? Fuck it. We are Task Force HR.
Oh Lord.
Fuck. Exercise a little too abusive for me. She grabbed me by the throat. I said harder once. She said no shit. Then she
Please do not address this unit in that manner.
I told you I had sounds.
God damn it. But no, fuck. Like I said, it's not my favorite uniform. It's probably my least favorite. For last place, it's mixed between the current Picard uniform and the Voyager uniform, because the only visible difference to me personally is the turtleneck they wear underneath, and then the Picard's got that little bitty extra little fucking divot that divots
little...
down into the black right there.
Hmm. Got that extra little stripe.
Yeah,
like a little stripe of color.
It's like that's it. That's all you did in 50, 60 fucking years, Star Trek. That's all you.
And I feel like I like that uniform better than the Voyager uniform, because with that one, much like the Monster Maroons, you can just and open your shit up, and it is a 2-piece.
That's true. It is a 2-piece.
So I feel like that one's got a little bit more going for it.
Yeah. I just know, like I said, I just didn't care for it. It just didn't seem like, it just seemed like, again, when they do the flashback episodes, they show the $23.99 uniform, and then they go back to the current episodes, and I'm just like, huh? Oh.
Why did they ever change it? Like, why? Why would you change that?
Why go through it? That's exactly how it feels to me. Why go through the process of changing the fucking uniform if you're just gonna go back and do the same shit you've already fucking done? You know, just add a little bit extra fucking material to make me sweat even more, because we know that bitch is made out of wool. Don't know why the fuck it's still made out of wool when we're in the goddamn future and we synthesize fucking everything. No, fuck that.
Fuck that bullshit.
To the highest degree. Death of heat stroke.
Yeah, death
My
by
ass
heat
is
stroke is a
in
freaking understatement.
My ass is in Texas, okay, and we haven't even hit August yet. It's already hitting the mid-90s, okay? I can't be going outside in these fucking uniforms. They're made out of fucking wool.
Exactly.
They said, sign up for the Navy. I said, kiss my ass. They said, why? I said, your uniform's wool. They said, well, we got these nice BDUs. I said, no, thank you. That's just as bad. They said, why? You see how many goddamn pockets you got, and you gonna have me loaded down on every single one of them.
Yep.
Then again, I did turn around and become a firefighter, so, you know, kind of bit myself in the ass with that one. But hey, that's a different fucking story.
Yeah, no, that's understandable. Okay, Google.
But again, me bitching about the extra fucking cloth kind of holds no weight as an argument, considering I do love the Monster Maroons over anything else.
And
the Monster Maroon arguably has the most fabric out of any of the fucking uniforms ever made by Starfleet.
All of them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are hot as hell.
And it doesn't matter what version of the Monster Maroons you put on. The one you get the least amount of layers with is the engineering vest. Then it goes to the bomber jacket. The bomber jacket's got an extra layer. Because I'm adding the bands. I'm adding the band that goes around the arm and the band that goes over the fucking shoulder. It's two different things. So you have the engineering vest, which is literally just the vest over the fucking shirt. Then you got the bomber jacket, and then there's the regular duty uniform. Which, dear fucking God, that bitch is hard to put on. And no wonder, everybody's, why were their flaps always open in the movies? Because, motherfucker, we was trying to breathe, okay? We were trying to cool off. You know, everybody says there's no seatbelts on these ships. You know what else there's not? Air conditioning. There's no
we're
air
so far in the
conditioning
future yet there's no fucking air conditioning. Like, that is like the worst thought ever.
You wanna feel cool? You wanna cool off? You better put a spacesuit on and step outside. All right, that's how you cool off in space. There's no air conditioning.
Or just the helmet.
Right. Fuck. Don't even get me started on the engineering uniform from the Monster Maroon era.
Ugh.
Can't imagine. I kind of want to get one. I want to get one just because they do look fucking cool as shit.
Google.
But I can't imagine how hot that motherfucker is. I can't imagine. I know that motherfucker hot because, one, my dad was 22 years U.S. Navy. I've been on several Navy ships and I've been to the engine room. Them bitches is hot. Okay, it doesn't matter what time of year it is. It doesn't matter where the fuck you're at on the globe. You could be in the fucking Arctic Circle. Them bitches is still hot in the engineering room. And then you got to put on that big ass fucking uniform too. No. You got me fucked up. I signed up for Starfleet. They said, "Where you want to go?" I said, "I want to go command." They said, "Why command?" Because I'm not sweating my ass off.
I'm not gonna sweat my ass off. No freaking way.
Yeah, I'm not sweating my ass off in no damn engine room.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's how I could never be an engineer. I can't handle the heat. I am a cold. I'm literally my friend. That's the why my nickname is Bear, because I can't stand the heat. I hibernate during the winter. Like, I'm a bear. My nickname is Bear. Like,
yeah. See, I ain't sweating my ass off in no engineering room. I can't be a security guard, and I'll tell you why. I got too goddamn much anger. All right, you put me in security, everybody's dead. Okay, one pop, if somebody runs their mouth, you're getting phasered, and I'm not. I don't have that shit set on stun ever. Okay, I ain't stunning you. I'm taking you out. All right. Okay. Then okay. What about sciences? What about sciences? You really want me to be the first contact for these alien species? You really want me? I'd pull an Archer real quick. I'd accidentally offend them and then not give a shit. Okay.
You'd offend them and then get like a taser to the face. That's what would happen.
Right. And then they start calling me Captain Taserface, and here I am. Now I'm in the MCU. No. Fucking. So I said, put me in command. They said, where you want to be in command? I said, I want to be the pilot. They said, you want to be the pilot? I said, yeah. Not a helmsman. Hell no. I'm not putting in the destination. I'm flying to it, bitch. You see that asteroid? Skirt, watch this. I'm gonna make my starship drift. Watch this shit. So they made me a helmsman. No, then they sat me in the captain's chair. They said, all right, this is probably the only thing you're good for. I said, yeah, it's about right. Chewing ass and kicking bubblegum. I mean, you dropped the ball with that sound, John.
Which one was I supposed to play there?
Do not speak to the unit in that manner.
Please do not address this unit in that manner.
There, you happy?
There we go.
I got too hot in the other uniform.
I'm perfectly fine. Yeah. I got a fan facing towards me. I'm doing great. It's just very itchy.
See, I do too, but wearing 2 layers didn't do anything to allow the fan to do what you got.
Real. Very real.
This, however, a little bit more breathable.
Yeah.
This is also the flashback uniform he's talking about. Yeah,
Lumen. Lemon, you see that uniform, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You've got something with the internet in front of you, right?
Yes.
Look
Kind
at the
of.
Picard. Look at the Picard era uniform. Not the
Okay.
TNG, but the series Picard uniform.
Show uniform. Oh yeah.
We go from that
Ooh.
back to that horse shit.
Yeah, right.
It's a downgrade, damn it. It's a fucking downgrade if you ask me.
Insert this funny photo that I just found. Picard in a dress. Yes.
Yeah, no, nobody's real proud of that.
Dress. Shut up. I like him.
They told me I wasn't allowed to be in the TNG era because I told them if I was wearing that, I'm free balling. Oh, sorry.
It did get a little bit better as the years went.
I like that it changed to more of a skirt kind of thing. It kind of
Yeah.
worked a little bit better as a skirt than a full-on dress.
I thought
mean,
it
the
always
sket's
became
cool.
like
Look
more
at-
of like a jacket type thing, like an overcoat almost,
Yeah.
instead of like
Yeah.
a full on.
Yeah. But I fucking love the scant though. I love the scant. Guys and girls alike. That everybody can rock the scant. It doesn't matter. That scant is a beautiful fucking uniform.
This one knows nothing we're talking about. She is just here. She is just vibing. She has no idea what's going on.
I'm having a great time. I love
We'll get you
hearing
there.
people. I love hearing
We'll
people
get you
talk.
there eventually.
We'll get you there
So,
eventually.
I'm having
It'll
fun.
happen.
We'll learn you something, you heathen.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah,
do
if I
not
had
address
one
this
question would
unit
be,
in
if
that
I
manner.
was to get into Star Trek, where would I start? Where is the best thing to start watching?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Shy, the only person here that could honestly answer that because they know you the best
Mm-hmm.
is Lumen.
Hi.
Um,
How are you?
But
How are you?
personally, I would say, I'd say start with the original series, get you a
That's what I said
baseline.
too.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
get you a
yeah.
baseline with the original series and go from there.
That's exactly what I told her too, was like start with the original series. And her other question that she asked my grandma was, where do the movies fit in timeline wise, and what should she watch first? Does she watch the show first, or does she watch movies in between? That was her other question.
Show first,
So
then movies.
yeah, when it
There you
comes to the original series, it's show first and then the movies, and you can do that all back to back. With
Cool.
TNG, it gets a little funny because if you're going
timeline order.
timeline order, you have all of TNG, then you have Generations,
Mhm.
and then you have Deep Space Nine somewhere in there, and then somewhere in there you have Insurrection. Then you have a little bit more Deep Space Nine.
It's,
Then you have the other movies, and then you have Voyager on top of that with the ending of Deep Space Nine, and then Nemesis somewhere in there. It gets very fucking confusing when it comes to the TNG movies,
Yeah.
but you don't necessarily have to watch the TNG movies in timeline order to understand everything.
Okay, cool.
Like you can literally just watch the series TNG, watch all of their movies, and then watch Deep Space Nine and go, yeah, okay, I still understand everything. It's you don't
Yeah.
have to do it that way, but if you want to, it gets fucking confusing.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
very, very confusing.
I will say the one Star Trek series I will tell you not to fucking watch is Discovery. Now
Okay.
again, don't let my biases be your biases, but Discovery fucking sucks. It is trash. It is ass. It is not Star Trek. It is just something Paramount put out and labeled Star Trek to make us happy.
Oh,
It-
I did hear
it was
about
not
that. I
good.
did see. Didn't that come out kind of recently?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did hear about
Yeah,
that.
and
It was
then
not
there
good.
was Section 31, which is the newest Star Trek movie. And again, much like Discovery, it is ass. It is trash. It was, hey, Paramount, we want another Star Trek movie. Well, here you go. Here's a Discovery movie. No, that's not
No,
what we asked
not
for.
even a movie.
What are you doing?
Here is a pilot for a show we fucking canned, and we're gonna present it as a movie. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's your
enough.
answers. So you got the
I got
little
homework to do.
nerds. Yeah, you got a bunch of homework to do, homie. There's a lot of it.
In all honesty, Shy, your best thing to do is go on the YouTube, go on John's YouTube, and watch the podcast.
Yeah,
that's
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 what I
what
told her too. I also told her about like watching also the 2009 movies. You don't need to know you don't really need to know too much of the original series to
You
get
don't.
the movie, the 2009 ones, but watching the original series will kind of be like, whoa, I know that one specific actor that I'm not going to name so I don't spoil it for you. Oh, and then there's this other actor. Oh, wow, it's cool seeing all these different people,
Huh?
have a part in this. So
to watch the 2009 movies. Yes, you can watch them standalone. You can watch them standalone, but your best bet, watch the original series, watch the original series movies, the original 6, and then watch 2009 Star Trek. Then watch the Kelvin
that's kind
timeline.
of how I.
I almost
Because-
think
wanna see
you'll
the
probably
sketches?
get a better appreciation for. That's awesome. That's cool.
Hell yeah.
You'll get a
Get
better
treated.
appreciation for the 2009 movies if you watch the original series first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You'll find more
the Kel-
appreciation with them.
The Kelvin timeline movies, they're gonna pull at your heartstrings no matter what. Like if you get into it and you let your emotions, really seep into these movies, it's gonna pull at your heartstrings. It's gonna do a very good job at pulling you into the Trek universe. But if you watch the original series, then you watch the original 6 movies, and then it's a nonstop heartstring tugger.
Yep.
And it's so much better. So much better.
Cool.
But talked to Carter today, and so Carter texts me. He goes, it's really fun doing a concentration camp reenactment as a Jew. And I just texted back, who the fuck starts a conversation like that?
I just sat down.
So apparently his job has been having him pretty much cleaning all day. And he's been using these cleaning products that have just been gassing the fuck out of him.
Yeah.
I
That's
was
one way to
oh
put
my
it.
God. I just again, that was the first text I got from him today. And I was like, who the fuck starts a conversation like that? I just, yeah.
Yeah. That just goes to show again why we're Task Force HR.
For HR. Fucking, oh, god damn it. I miss him though. But
Crazy.
shit, man, again, can we just get some Star Trek in the Lost Era, please? Can we get some Enterprise B, Enterprise C? I'll even take an Enterprise F at this point in time. Give me something. Give me anything. Hell, Enterprise hinted at the Enterprise J. I want the J. I want to see the J in live action. I would love to see that in live action. I want to see how that ship looks, because oh my god, seeing it on a game, I know that game doesn't do it justice. Like, it does it pretty good, but it doesn't do it justice.
Yeah. On that note, first episode of Star Trek Yorktown is almost done.
Wait.
It will be coming out in the next couple of days. I got a little bit behind on production, but it's coming.
He's been teasing me with it. I think I got the first 15 minutes or so.
Yeah, no, I sent you the first 15 minutes or something.
Yeah,
Then...
and it's great. It's great so far. I'm loving it. I'm enjoying every bit of it. Matter of fact, the sounds we're adding into the podcast is from some of them. You'll if you watch the podcast and you go watch Yorktown, which if you watch the podcast you don't watch Yorktown, what's wrong with you? Seriously, what's wrong with you? Go watch Yorktown, okay? You dirty piece of. But a lot of the sounds we have on our podcast are going to be a good reference for Star Trek Yorktown. The ship John has designed it on one of his Star Trek games. It looks gorgeous. It is an Excelsior variant, the Yorktown variant. So he created his own subclass, and I love it. Then again, as we know, I just love the Excelsior class. It's the most beautiful ship, in my opinion. But
Sure.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it to come out. We're brainstorming some of our. I've started brainstorming storylines for both Kitty Hawk and Hornet. So we can get that up and going for you guys. Get you some backstory, some lore on our characters that we're going to be portraying as ourselves. And the crew. I'm slowly building a crew list for each ship. The ones we have for sure is I'm captain of the Kitty Hawk. Carter's my chief engineer as a lieutenant junior grade. I've got John, of course, as captain of the Hornet. My wife, Hannah, is his communications officer. We're going to probably throw Luminant on there somewhere. Probably on John's ship.
I exist somewhere in the Star Trek multiverse.
Yeah.
I will pull a Data cosplay out. I will also be working on the Lady from Beyond. Oh no.
Jayla?
I want to be Jayla. I'm going to be working on her cosplay too, which is going to be very, very fun. I'm hoping that's going to be my 2026 like big project.
Nice.
So very exciting.
And then we planning some trips to do some shit as a crew as this podcast goes on. So that's another thing you guys can look forward to. Another direction we will go is taking trips, doing stuff on the podcast, doing podcasting at these other areas, such as the NASA Space Center out in Houston with the Galileo shuttlecraft from the original series. We'll most likely be trying to plan as soon as possible, hopefully next year, trip to Seattle to the Pop Culture Museum, which has the Sci-Fi Museum attached to it, so we can go do a podcast up there. Me and John have talked about that. And one of the things we want to talk to you guys about, and we're going to try very hard to make sure we do. Everyone knows next year is the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. With that, I've talked to John, I've talked to Hannah about it. What we're going to try to do is we're going to try to save up as much as we can and break in to the Star Trek Las Vegas convention, the Creation Entertainment throws every year for the 60th anniversary. Whether that means getting our table out there or just going as fans. We're going to try to show up to Star Trek Las Vegas 2026. So look for us there. Hope to see some of you guys there. I'm hoping we could, get a booth. We're going to wait till to see as registration starts for those booths. We're going to see, what that's going to look like, if we're going to be able to afford that or not, to let you guys know. And hopefully we'll have some cool banners, some little handouts, business cards, whatever, for the podcast. It's going to have the link to the Spotify. It's going to have the link to the YouTube channel. Links to the Instagram, which is up and coming. We are developing that right now, and link to the TikTok page, which we're going to get up off the ground running. We're going to try to post some more to it, so that that gets out there. And we're trying to break into Star Trek TikTok as it goes. Personally, I am. I mean, I broke into it. I'm just trying to get some friends in the Star Trek TikTok scene. Trying to get some more of you guys on this podcast as guests to come along and on this journey with us and give us your insight and different opinions.
Mm-hmm.
Because we've been talking about it. One of the fun things to do is hear the other opinions that, oh, me and John really love this fucking series, but there are people out there that really hate this fucking series. So I want to hear from them, not to bring them on to be a dick to them or anything, but to hear, okay, what is it about the series you don't like? That kind of stuff. Personally, I'd love to find someone that loves Voyager to bring them on to hear why the fuck they love Voyager. Because I can't wrap my head around it. But trying some of that new shit.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't think we've told the podcast yet. So y'all have heard us before. We're talking about DeepCon, Shreveport, Louisiana, 2025. Alan Ruck was supposed to appear. Unfortunately, he has postponed and will no longer be appearing. So unfortunately, we won't have a segment on the podcast or the TikTok about meeting Alan Ruck anymore. But we're still, of course, the day before the con, gonna get on the podcast, do our talks, everything like that. Hopefully we'll all be in person. John's gonna be our last sign on for that. We're just trying to see, of course, money situations, because traveling fucking is expensive. And we all understand that entirely. But Carter's still coming down for that one, so we'll have Carter back at least for that episode. We'll have Hannah on screen for that episode as well. We'll, if it is just, me, Hannah, and Carter, and then John over on his side, we'll get it figured out for the podcast for that episode, and talk some fun stuff there. Whatever that episode may be at that point in time, which, gauging how we're running this so far, might be the Kelvin timeline, what we might be on at that point in time.
The USS Yorktown.
There we go. See, I knew you were pulling it up.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So this is a very interesting subclass that I invented on Starship Creator. As you can see, it's got the 4 nacelles instead of just 2. Look at the top view here. Let's zoom in on that.
There we go.
Yeah.
Very beautiful looking ship, honestly.
Oh, absolutely. Very heavily modified Excelsior class.
And in all honesty, knowing that the Excelsior class is more or less a battleship in and of its on its own, seeing a Yorktown class come at me, I'm gonna run the other fucking way. I don't care who I might be Starfleet myself. Starship Yorktown is approaching. Fuck, back up. They're on our side.
That's one mean some bitch.
They're on our side. Oh, right. Fuck, we're Starfleet too. Shit. Help them. I've got an Excelsior class model kit coming in soon, so I'll be hopefully building the Kitty Hawk soon. I've got some decals, some custom decals for the ship coming in as well. What'd you say, John?
I haven't said anything yet.
Oh, okay.
What are y'all's eye colors? Because I'm an idiot.
I'm hazel, so green or blue.
Okay,
it doesn't matter.
Right. God, what the fuck? I was like, I couldn't tell if your eyes were blue or like a really like light brown.
Yeah, it depends on what I'm wearing.
Yeah, no, I have hazel. We both have hazel eyes, so it's like
it changes with the lighting and like how my hair is.
Exactly.
Yeah, John, you're what? You got blue eyes, right? You got blue eyes, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I put brown because I can tell. I'm sorry, John. I gave you
it's okay.
brown.
I mean, if I click my light on like this, you can.
Oh yeah, now I can see.
Yeah.
It's like a dark blue.
But like with the light off, it's pretty hard to tell.
It looks brown to me. Yeah, it looked brown to me. So I was just like, I don't know. I'm just gonna guess, and then I'll ask when we're quiet. Cause yeah. I'm doing very simple. I'm not doing like crazy shading, just so you know, guys know. for the drawing. I will send it in the Discord later.
Ion Trail does not hailing for
It is looking very nice.
Yeah,
like
she's seeing it. She gets to
no
see
response,
it first.
Captain.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to find also
Captain, something's coming out of the nebula.
It
appears to be a ship, sir, of unknown design. Appears to be a
Have
ship,
those,
sir,
'cause-
of unknown design.
Yeah.
So, because I am kind of an asshole, there's a little snippet.
All right.
They're charging weapons. Red alert, shields up. Forward shields down to 80%. Return fire. Alright, hold on. I don't know why my thing is not working. Here. Did you hear it, Chris?
Barely. Like I heard like the shields up, red alert, and then that was it.
Wonder why that's not working. Well, guess we're not doing that today then.
Yeah, that's all I heard too. Was all I heard was really red alert, and that's it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Well, anyway, guys, when it posts, go check it out, or I'll fight you personally. Like I
Whoa,
said, my
hello.
finger's not on stun.
Scary. Jesus.
Very scary.
Oh my gosh. But I will say, all in all, with Voyager, I do gotta say I love the Intrepid class.
Mhm.
The Intrepid class starship, very beautiful. Very beautiful. Very sleek design. And something that, again, as we said in our last episode, very, very fucking aerodynamic.
Very arid.
Not quite as big as the other starships we've seen. Hell, I'm pretty sure if you tried hard enough, you could probably put the Voyager in the shuttle bay of the Excelsior or of the Galaxy class starships. It'd be very cramped. It'd be very cramped, and you'd probably fuck up a few things.
I don't think you could. I think it's quite a bit bigger than that.
Well, no, it's even smaller than technically the Constitution class, the original Enterprise.
It's a little bit bigger than the Constitution. Not
a
by
little bit bigger than
much.
that one.
Not by much, but it is bigger.
Right.
So.
But the crew complement, however, is very much smaller.
Mhm.
Very small crew complement for Voyager. Which, in all honesty, I gotta say though, of all the starships to fling from one side of the galaxy to the other, you do it to the Voyager and not the Galaxy class that's set up for a long range fucking mission.
Right.
Then again, you couldn't have done that to Jean-Luc because he would have figured out how to get home immediately. Not saying anything about Janeway, but he would have figured out how to get home immediately. Well, hell, he did. He did, and in the first season, he did. They flung him to the far side of the fucking galaxy. And he was like, no, motherfuckers, you're turning my ship around, we're going back.
The Voyager was 344 meters long. The original Constitution class was 288 meters.
Okay. Just a little bit bigger.
But the crew complement was quarter of the size on the Intrepid class.
Yeah.
Because you had 430 on the original Enterprise, and you have about 150 on Voyager.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But Voyager also
It's
has
not much.
15 decks, while the Enterprise has 23.
Yeah. And going back, one of the cool things that me and John have been doing for a while, mostly John, because he's got the YouTube videos for it. Over on Minecraft, we've been building a half scale of the Voyager.
I
Give or
think
take.
it's like closer to like 3/4, dude. That thing is huge.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not we know it's not full size, but it's pretty fucking
I was
damn
about to say,
near.
at best, it's
Oh.
like 7/8
Yeah.
size.
Yeah, it's damn near 1/1 scale, and it's fucking massive. But we've been building it slowly but surely over on Minecraft. We need to get back to that world too. Over on that world, we've built a couple NX 1/5 scale NX classes. Then we built John built one that just resembles a Constitution class, but doesn't at the same time. But we
It's
we
kind
were
of
just
just a.
building shit. Yeah. And I've got a couple type 10 class shuttlecrafts. Yeah, fuck it. I can't talk today, man.
I like how we're drinking the same thing.
No shit. Are we really?
The tropical stuff.
Right. Great minds think alike. Fucking. Yeah, we need to get back to that world because we've decided to try to take, as well as we've started another world on Minecraft where we took the Star Wars skin pack,
Mhm.
The Star Wars texture pack, and are going to try to build a starship out of Star Wars stuff.
Now, doesn't
Because-
that just seem sacrilegious?
Right, but don't get mad at us because the Star Wars texture pack is as close as you're going to get to space sci-fi that Minecraft using. Now, the one that we've got for Voyager looks really good. Don't get me wrong. It's the I think it's called
You would know better than I would.
Monsters versus Robots or some shit like that. Because the texture pack's mine. I think that's what it's called. And it gets pretty close. It's really cool. You can do some cool shit with it. But the Star Wars one just gets so close, so much better
Mhm.
with the starship skins. So hopefully, we might, once we get those worlds built up and around, we might get that going and showing you guys, because the main thing we want to do with this podcast is show the fuck off because we're just that badass.
I finished the art. It's in
All
the
right, what's
Discord.
yellow? Oh, it's in the Discord.
I sent it. Yeah, I added YouTube as well.
Let's see. Hell yeah.
I didn't do any color. It was simple. I might add color later, soon. Not right now.
Fair enough. That's cool.
That
Yeah,
is
we've
pretty cool.
our first logo that we had was very quick. John put it together. Just grabbed my TikTok profile picture at the time
I think it's like
and his TikTok profile picture.
yeah.
And just kind of mashed
Feel
together.
free to use it. I'm the artist, and I'm giving you permission
Yeah.
to use it however you guys like. So
Yeah, and then we had the one we're using now, which if you look on the TikTok page, is my buddy Ben did that for us, and that's the Task Force HR logo.
yeah, nice.
So, and eventually I want to try to get that condensed into a patch to have like a little Velcro patch of that to kind
Yeah,
of fuck
cool.
around with. And maybe some stickers pass out. Like I said, when it comes to Star Trek Las Vegas 2026, if we get a booth, if we're able to
So
get a booth,
that's
with
our
that,
first logo.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
that's the-
I like it.
Yeah, not a bad one at all. It was just very quickly done. But yeah, if we get the booth, if we are able to attain a booth at Star Trek Las Vegas 2026, I want to try to get some stickers out, maybe some patches, little quick stuff to kind of give away, give out, get the name out there and stuff like that. And and with the business cards, it's just going to be basically just a QR code that people can take and find my personal TikTok on there, personal TikTok, Instagram, the Two Captains One Pod, TikTok, Instagram, the Spotify, and then John's YouTube. We'll make you some that'll have your personal TikTok and Instagram on there for you as well, John, if that's something you want to do. But I'll talk to you about that later. Because owning my own business and going through Vistaprint, I get discounts on business cards now. So I ain't got to spend much, and I can make some badass looking business cards that have the logo, whichever logo we want to use, whether that's the Two Captains One Pod logo or the Task Force HR logo, or fuck it, both, because they're both pretty badass fucking logos. So, both done by some really badass artists. Again, Lumen, for those of you that are watching, for those of you that are listening, Lumen is a phenomenal artist. If you want something done commission-wise, check Lumen out. Lumen's good for that shit.
No,
Don't
I
say
don't
no.
have I need to make a commission page. I haven't yet. I keep procrastinating. I'm bad with prices. I'll look at the prices and I'll go, that seems like too much. I should just cost them like $1. No, wait, that's even too much. And then I have Cheyenne over here yelling at me going, you need to price it more. Your art's so good. Price it more, god damn it. And I'm just over here like, no. That money.
If you guys want a real good look at Lumen's art ability, go look at my YouTube, TGTC Studios. Both the banner and the profile picture were done by Lumen. So you want some good view of Lumen's artwork. Because again, this podcast is our podcast, so if we want to promote something, we fucking will.
Why, thank you.
You know, and again, that goes back to the Star Trek community. You know, we lift each other up. We're not like Star Wars, where we throw each other into the lava
Shout
from the
out,
high ground.
call out. This one's a Star Wars fan. Killer.
Well,
Lyncher.
I say that. I've seen the movies once, and that's about it.
You were my brother, Shy. It was said you would destroy the Sith, not join them.
Bring
Yeah,
balance to the
pretty much.
Force, not leave it in darkness.
It brought peace, justice, and freedom to my new empire. Your
A
new
new
empire.
empire. If you're not with me, then you're my enemy. Only a Sith deals
Only
in-
a Sith
deals in absolutes. I will do what I must. You will try.
You know, in all honesty, though, in all honesty, take that scene. Okay, take Anakin in that moment. Take Obi-Wan in that moment. Obi-Wan is the Federation. Anakin is the Klingon Empire. And 100% throughout the entirety of Trek, because we hate the Klingons. We're buddy with the Klingons. We hate the Klingons. We're buddy with them again. We hate them again. You're mad that I'm right. I can see it. I can sense it in the Force. You're mad that I'm right.
Give you a sense of the Force, you jack. You know what? You know what?
Please do not address this unit in that manner.
Worth it.
Warning, warp core breach a lot sooner than you think.
I'll fucking do it again. Oh my god. When Lemon comes back, I've got a question for Shy. But we'll wait. Oh. Any moment now. Yep.
Hi, sorry, I don't know what it is, but Discord made you guys super, super quiet, and I can't, like, barely hear you guys. So I
What
may
the hell?
leave and try and come back real quick.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll wait. Damn thing's not working.
You guys are loud again. What the hell? I'm upset.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
Well,
Uh,
whatever.
I've got a question for Shy.
Okay.
Yes.
Shy, how much have you seen anything Star Trek? Like anything at all?
Other, I think, than my cosplays, nothing.
Not a thing.
Oh, okay. Out of Lumen's cosplays, the two that Lumen has done for Star Trek, which one's your favorite? Oh, I put you on the spot.
Oh.
Huh. I like his data cosplay. I've seen it,
Okay.
he put a lot of work into it.
It's just face paint.
So, he put a lot of work into everything you do, and I really admire that.
I'm gonna cry, y'all. That's
Lumen, you know what you need to do though? When you get you need to go and you need to get an orange cat. Okay, name him Spot, make him an ESA, or hell, a full on service animal. Okay, and then take Spot to conventions and cosplay data solely with Spot.
I don't know if I can do that. It'd probably take a few years, but maybe
Fair
someday.
enough.
I might take like stuffed animal tabby
Fair enough.
cats.
Yeah,
I had
yeah.
a tabby cat when I was younger. His name was Chester. He was an asshole. He hated me. But I loved him, and it's okay.
Typical tabby cat energy. So
Oh yeah, definitely.
um I just figured I'd ask, see what Shy knew. If anything.
Yeah.
But-
I think all that I've just kind of told her here and there, like about the next generation, about the original series. I think that's all she really
Yeah.
knows is the stuff I technically told her.
Yeah. And I mean, I've seen commercials and ads for it, but, other than that.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of ads, dear God, I'm so glad they got rid of that one ad on fucking Paramount for Strange New Worlds and just Paramount in general. If you haven't seen it, Lumen, I'm pretty
I
sure
think
it's
I know
fucking.
the one you're talking about. No, I think
I'm
I know
pretty
the
sure
one
it's
you're.
out there.
It's
Fucking Strange
interesting.
New World meets SpongeBob, the Patrick Starship Enterprise.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just your imagination.
I busted out laughing. I was legitimately rolling on the floor as soon as Spock did that, and I was gone at that point.
Hannah did the same thing. She's laughing her ass off at it, but I'm just sitting there going like, "What in the fuck knuckles is this?"
that?
Okay, because the problem with me was I didn't see that it said "add" in the top right corner. Okay, when I click Strange New Worlds, okay, the first time I'm seeing this episode is like the third episode of the first season, and I click play, and every now and then Paramount will either give me an ad or it'll go straight into the show. And so when I see Anson Mount sitting there on the bridge of the Enterprise as Captain Pike, I'm like, oh, okay, we just went straight into the show. And then where is SquarePants? I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then the fucking thing goes, I'm like, oh, please tell me they did not do a crossover. And then it's a fucking ad. I'm like, oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. And Hannah's laughing. I think she's partly laughing at my reaction to the ad, to finding out that it was an ad, and then to the ad itself. I thought it was the actual show, so I'm like shitting fucking bricks. Like, please tell me this is not a real fucking thing.
See, that's where it differs for me, because I knew it was an ad the first time I saw it, so I was like, what the hell? And then yeah, Spock said maybe it's your imagination, and I lost it. I could not stand anymore. I was laughing so hard. Because he did the hands too, like well maybe it was your imagination, and
yeah, and so like I just 100%, I didn't see the fucking ad symbol in the fucking top right corner, so I'm like shitting fucking breaks. Like, please tell me this is not a goddamn episode. Please tell me.
yeah,
like I'm trying to pause it to fucking see the episode name and shit. Like, what the fuck did they name this episode?
Oh boy.
The imagination, obviously.
Yeah, use your
Yeah.
imagination.
But no, they ended up actually doing an animated series crossover, of course, with Lower Decks, and getting to see Huey. Oh, I'm sorry, not Huey, Jack Quaid.
Getting to see live action
watched
Boimler was a treat.
I see, and like I know he is the voice actor, but like I've watched The Boys, and that's where I was introduced to Jack Quaid, right? Like a lot of people
Well,
were introduced to him on screen because he was on screen before he was ever on The Boys.
I was
And
introduced to him
I
in
was
Star Trek Lower
introduced to him on The
Decks,
Boys.
and then I watched The
Yeah.
Boys, and I was like, oh my god.
Mine
What?
was The Boys and then
Spoiler.
Star Trek.
I could only imagine your reaction. What the fuck, Boiler?
What the fuck, Boims? What the hell?
And then me on the opposite end, watching The Boys, then watching Scream, going, no, this totally fits for Huey. Huey finally snapped, and this fits for him. And then watching the Lower Decks crossover, and going, it's season 1 Huey all over again.
He's so cute.
Shayna's just sitting here, eyes wide, not knowing
I'm
a
just
fucking
listening.
thing, dude. She is just wide-eyed, not knowing one in one ear, out the other right now.
You know what? Honestly, I'll say this. Shy, watch Lower Decks first. I think you'd honestly enjoy Lower Decks. And Lumen, I'm telling Shy to watch Lower Decks so you'll watch Lower Decks.
No, I'm not gonna touch that show with a 10-foot pole.
You should. It is
has
so
the
good.
Stupid Rick and Morty art style, and I hate Rick and Morty.
Oh, it's an animated show then.
Yeah.
It is so good. It is so good.
This is what I have to deal with. This is what I said. In one ear, out the other.
The chaos ensues.
Always.
What we're
Yeah.
best at.
Never a dull moment with me
Never a
around.
dull moment. Nope. Never a dull moment. Her and her battery acid soda.
I like what Mountain Dew. Thank you very much.
But no, it
There
is
are worse
animated. and I
there are
think
worse
you would
things you
enjoy
can put in your
it,
body.
But I would definitely say
Missing
go
the
into the
boot.
series.
I'll check it out.
Just saying.
Add it to my very long list of things I need to watch as an uncultured swine.
Yeah, see, me and Hannah was finally like, hey, get me into Star Trek. And so we put pretty much every show that we've been watching on pause.
Except for the Rookie and
Ghosts.
Ghost.
Yeah, but we pretty much put every show on pause to start getting her into Star Trek. And the way I went about it for her, I asked her, I was like, do you want to go in the order they came out, or do you want to go chronological order?
I chose chronological.
And Hannah chose chronological. And the reason, Shy,
Oh,
I
boy.
see you're like, the fuck does he mean chronological?
Yeah.
It's complicated.
Put a long story short, when Gene Roddenberry made Star Trek, he's like, we're to start here and we're only going to go forward. And then when Gene Roddenberry died and other people took over Star Trek, they're like, let's go back to the beginning. And then they fucked it up.
Makes sense.
Don't get
Yeah.
me wrong, Enterprise is still a decent show.
Mm-hmm.
Enterprise is one of my
Um,
favorites. This is one of those moments where Chris and I's opinion
Yeah.
differs very much so.
Very much. Enterprise is a decent show, but they introduce characters in Enterprise that you not supposed to know for the first time ever until TNG, which is like 400 years after Enterprise.
Oh.
Yeah. So you know, there was a lot of pausing and cussing and yelling at the TV when we were watching Enterprise, because that's what you have to start with if you want to watch it chronologically.
I
Got
just
it.
enjoyed it just because I was there, but
Lumen and Shai, to give you all a long story short, because if you go back and watch the other episodes, you'll hear these updates. But so we started with Enterprise. Hannah loved it. You know, again, I wanted her experience to be with Star Trek to be something on her own, find her own way to it, find her own show that she loves as her favorite. Not put my biases on there, even though that I cuss and yell and scream at the TV and pause every now and then on certain shows. But so we started with Enterprise and got all the way through Enterprise, and then I showed her Discovery, because Discovery technically comes right before Strange New Worlds. We got through one episode of Discovery. I was about to start the second. She goes, "Can we skip this?" I was, "Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God." I love you so much right now. So we did not watch Discovery. We went straight to Strange New Worlds. We've got through the 2 seasons that are out on Paramount Plus right now. And now we're on the original series.
Did you watch The Cage before you watched Strange New Worlds?
We did not, because I didn't think about it until we started watching The Cage, and I was like, "Oh shit, that's right. You're supposed to watch this first." But I did preface, and Shy, as someone who's never seen Star Trek, if you go to watch the original series, or when you go to watch the original series, just keep in mind it is very much a product of the 60s.
Very much a product of the 60s.
We love it, but
You could tell.
I'm in the middle.
It gets funny.
I'm in the middle of like my 50th watch through at this point.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We just got to the Mud's Women episode with Hannah.
Yeah, that's a
I've been sitting back. I've been sitting back laughing, watching her experience of this episode, and I was like, you know, honestly, too bad you didn't want to watch Discovery, because they bring Mud back in Discovery, and you're gonna shit yourself when you hear the actor. She goes, "Who's the actor for Mud in Discovery?" I was like, "Rainn Wilson." She goes, "I know that name." I was like, "Dwight Schrute." She goes, "No." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. It was one of the few Discovery episodes that I was like, okay, I kind of fuck with this a little bit. But, you know,
like, I remember
Discovery was such a...
I remember first watching that episode, and as soon as they brought up his name, like Harcourt Fenton, I'm like, no fucking way.
Fucking... yeah, we just got to that episode on the original series, and I'm really excited to get, like, as much as I love the original series, the movies are where my loyalty and love truly lies with Star Trek. I'm so excited watching my wife enjoy the original series. I can't wait to get to the movies. Honestly, God, I cannot wait to get to the movies.
First movie. Everyone tells me it sucks.
You have to.
I don't want.
You have to.
Okay, I got to opt out of Discovery then.
Yeah, because Discovery is shit.
You get one opt out, Hannah.
Exactly.
Yeah, you only get
You
one,
get one
and you
opt-out,
used
you
it on
used it.
Discovery, so you don't get another one.
Okay. Hello. I literally got about 10 minutes? Not even 10 minutes.
No, we watched
Discovery.
the first episode. We watched the full first episode. We watched the full first episode.
And then I proceeded to go, "What the fuck is that?" He said, "That's a Klingon." I said, "No, the fuck it's not."
It's not.
And then at the end of the show, he was like, "Okay, do you want to keep watching?" And I said,
"Can we skip
this show does not exist. We are skipping it. Goodbye."
Ew.
And that was what happened with us and Discovery.
Look, okay.
It would have been great on its if it was not labeled Star Trek and it was just a sci-fi show.
It would have been great on its own.
It would have been fine.
Yeah. You know, could have done a Firefly with it. You know, one season and it was done. You know.
And we got 5.
Look, I will say, as much as everybody says that the first movie sucks, and I mean, arguably it does compared to the rest of the storylines that you get out of the movies with the original series crew, it's still a pretty decent movie. It's just mostly what it is Paramount, the creators of Star Trek, were like, ooh, bigger budget. We get to have some more outside spacey scenes, and that's what it really boiled down to.
Honestly, some of my favorite scenes.
But
plotline, I mean, it's there, but it's not great because
it's not as good as it could have been.
the first movie, the motion picture, was never supposed to be the motion picture. It wasn't supposed to be a movie. It was supposed to be a second step to the original series. It was called Phase 2. There's a whole story about, so a lot of the Phase 2 shit is in the motion picture.
Okay.
And so they just kind of tied in other shit to fill in the gaps on the motion picture to finish the story, to make the story. So it's
like how
it's wonky, but it works.
Like how Moana 2 was supposed to be a Moana series, but then that got canceled, so they made it into a movie and just kind of threw some stuff in.
I mean, I haven't seen Moana 2, but sure,
It's pretty good. I think
it's not a bad movie, but it's not one of the best.
Yeah.
Comparatively, it's lacking.
Personally, I'd rather watch the motion picture over 5, but that's a different fucking story. But again, you're going to watch. You're going to
Star
watch
Trek 5 hate
again. I want you to watch these movies because I want your biases to not be mine. So again, I want you to watch these movies, enjoy them all the way through, and find out what you like, what you don't like. That's the whole point of it.
Thoroughly loved how
you asked me to
were
show you
adamantly against, not adamantly, I can't say adamantly. You were hesitant to like Enterprise, and then the very last episode, you were. I looked over at you, and you had tears in your eyes, and you said, "Okay,
because Riker."
I know.
Because of Riker.
I know it's because of Riker.
And then they killed Tucker. Bastards.
Yeah, I know. I want to go to the convention and tell him, you
spoiler
can't believe they
alert
killed
for
you. That was
anybody who's never
bullshit.
seen Enterprise.
Yeah. But, not yet.
Okay.
We gotta wait 2 weeks, see what his check looks like.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what we're waiting on. No. Yeah. But no, we're fucking you're gonna watch the movies because again, my bias is not gonna be your biases. The only one you were allowed was Discovery because Discovery is
Nobody likes
Call it what it
Discovery.
is. Sucks.
it's Discovery.
It sucks. Just call it what it is.
But all right, I'll see you later.
I need your help with something.
With what?
Can you help me? The green thing, can you take it into the kitchen?
I'll be right back, guys.
All right, you're taking time.
Yeah, I think one of our better episodes is where we covered Star Trek 5 because
Yeah.
he hates Star Trek 5. I love it. I
How?
think it's a fun, campy adventure. He hates it.
So Shane, do you have any questions? Because he's kind of the knowledgeable boy right there. He's the Boy Scout of Star Trek.
Not really. I'm probably gonna. My memory is so bad, dude. So I'm probably not gonna remember what you guys said. But I would try to watch them in chronological order. So if I could get because I watch everything in chronological order. Like when I
You disgust
when
me.
I first
You
got into
scare me.
X-Men, I watched all of those in Marvel.
Okay, but that's easy to watch in
Well, that's
chronological
it. Yeah.
order.
And then
Star Trek is not.
Yeah, Star Trek gets a little bit complicated when you start watching them in chronological timeline order. Like Chris was saying, you start with Enterprise, and then you watch Discovery if you want to. I you know our feelings about Discovery at this point.
Yeah.
And then you watch the pilot episode for Star Trek the original series called The Cage. And then you watch Strange New Worlds. Then comes the rest of the original series. Watch the original series, you watch movies 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You watch the first 10 minutes of Star Trek Generations. And then watch all 7 seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation. And then get Deep Space Nine in there. Okay, you get Deep Space Nine. I think you start the first couple seasons of Voyager. And then you get to Star Trek First Contact, which is the second next gen movie. And then watch seasons, I want to say 4 through 7 of Deep Space Nine. And you watch Insurrection, which is the third next gen movie. And you watch all of Voyager somewhere in there, doesn't matter where. And then you watch Nemesis. Nemesis is the last next generation. After
Mhm.
that comes Star Trek Lower Decks. After Lower Decks, I believe, is Picard. Yes, Picard. And Picard is the last thing on the list. Unless you decided to watch the first 2 seasons of Discovery. Then after Picard, you watch seasons 3 through 5 of Discovery. That's perfect, almost perfect timeline chronological order. Super ass complicated, but
Yeah.
So
Fun times.
complicated. No, I never watch things in chronological order unless it's like super simple, like X-Men.
I'm weird
Honestly,
like that.
I think the only series that or set of series that gets more complicated than the Star Trek timeline is the MCU timeline.
Yeah, no,
You
that
want to
one's
watch
pretty
all of those
Well,
movies
yeah,
in chronological order?
I
It's
did.
very fucking complicated.
because
See, I'm very late
everything
to a
is
lot of
now
things.
MCU these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn near
Well,
every Marvel movie now is MCU,
Mm.
thanks to their
That's a
multiversal
different story
bullshit.
for a different time.
yeah. I got into Marvel, honestly. I'm very late to any fandom and anything. But I got into Marvel like during quarantine 2020. And I binge watched all of the movies that was out at the time in chronological order, so that was fun.
I think the only few things that I've watched in chronological order is the Teen Wolf show and X-Men. That's it. I don't watch things in chronological order because it hurts my brain too much to try and fill in gaps.
Yeah. And
I've done Star Trek in chronological order once, but I think that was before like Strange New Worlds or even Discovery came out.
yeah, and see, this is my first time doing it chronological order, and it's only because my wife requested it this way. Because because in all honesty, I never really wanted to do it in chronological order because with the other series going back in time, such as Enterprise, things get cross-faded, because people don't really do research before they write a new show that goes into a plethora of shows like they should, and it's not just the Star Trek fandom. Hell, that shit happens in Star Wars. You watch the original trilogy, then you watch the prequels. The reason people hated the reason the older generation hated the prequels is not just because they didn't like the acting, but there are things, if you really pay attention, there are things that happen in the prequels that upset things that happen in the original trilogy. Not much and not by far, but
I've never paid enough
it's still
attention to
happening,
find out what they are.
The new Harry Potter series that's about to come out about the younger versions, I guarantee that's about to upset everything that happened in the Harry Potter universe.
Whoa. Back up there, Kimosabi. What?
Yeah, there's a new Harry Potter series coming out. Nick Frost, Simon Pegg's best friend, will be playing Hagrid. And a lot of the actors that have been signed on to this project have been getting flack because of J.K. Rowling. And I love Nick Frost's answer because he said, "I'm not in it to make money for that bitch. I'm in it because I like this project and I know the fans want to see something." And I'm like, I'm with that because J.K. Rowling is a fucking bitch.
I'm still not gonna go watch it just because of how much has come out about her. Like, and I was talking with a friend of mine. I have a bunch of I have all the Fantastic Beasts on DVD before everything came out. I have a ton of I have a Niffler toy. I have a little Bowtrickle toy that I got before everything came out about her. And I don't want to support her any more than I have. So, because, I am trans, I am part of that community. It's no, I'd rather not support a transphobe.
Yeah.
Who will be probably making a shit ton of money from this. And the only thing I hope doesn't happen is that the children actors don't get attacked. That's all I hope for. I don't care that they're acting in this. I don't care You know, I just hope and pray that we don't have like a hated child actor situation because they're just here to gain experience. They're just here. They don't have those ideologies, fingers crossed. They don't have
Yeah.
those terrible thoughts like how J.K. Rowling is. They don't donate to those terrible charities. Like, all I can hope is that the children actors don't get fucking ran off the internet
Yeah.
or ran off the world or hated till, you know, one of them hurts themselves or something, you know, because that has
Yeah.
happened with so many childhood actors
Well,
that have acted
and
in
going
something
back to
similar.
Star Wars, that's what happened to the kid who played Anakin. Is like he got so
Exactly.
Yeah.
ostracized that he just went away. Like I don't remember exactly what happened to him, but I think he got into like some bad shit or something like that. If I'm remembering right.
Yeah, Jake Lloyd. So he quit acting because of it and hit some hard times as he grew up. Tried like hell to get away from being the kid that played Anakin because of the hate that happened, and
Mhm.
unfortunately just got really heavy into the drug scene. Now, from what I know now, much like Hayden Christensen, he started to come around because the fans like us that grew up with that, with those prequels, are now able to voice our opinions and go, the older guys can shut the fuck up. Those movies were fucking great.
Exactly.
He's been sober. I don't know how long he's been sober, but he has been sober for quite a while now. He's coming around to, he's coming around to, I don't think he's doing conventions. I think he's sworn off conventions forever, which fair enough.
Okay, yeah, no, like fair enough.
But he's coming around to saying, hey, yeah, I was Anakin in the Phantom Menace. He's at least doing that now. He's done really good for himself ever since getting out of jail on some drug charges. But yeah, he had a really bad life because of that shit. But yeah, going back to the point, it just, I've never really wanted to watch it in chronological order because the way that things get crossfaded when because, and even if they'd done their research, watching it through now, the original series was nothing like The Next Generation or even Deep Space Nine and Voyager, where this episode is going to lead into this episode and into this episode and it was very much a one-off. Oh, what are we going to do this week? I don't know. Probably kick some aliens' ass. Fuck yeah, let's go for it. When you watch the original series, it's very hard to explain, how Starfleet operates because they, kind of cross themselves in the original series time and time again. But eventually, by the third season, they eventually, hammer it all out and get it all out. And then by the time the movies come around, it's established how everything operates and stuff like that in TNG. So, but, so even if they'd done the research for Enterprise, they're probably still going to crossfade some shit just for the simple fact the original series did it to themselves. And even now, the one things that I think Enterprise should have stayed away from was Ferengi and the fucking Borg, but it's a different fucking story. What's up, Lemon?
We may have to head off because we have con tomorrow, so we probably gotta head off so we can get some sleep in about a little bit, just because we are gonna be doing con. But thank you for having us. Like it's always phenomenal. Like this is amazing. I love this. I love what you guys are doing. We gotta head off. So sorry. Sorry that we couldn't stay longer, but we've got
no worries at all.
Y'all have a great night. Have fun at con tomorrow and shoot me some pictures.
We will. Oh, we will. All right. I'll make sure to try and see what the price is for the Rebecca lady from Cyberpunk for you, Chris, because I'm going to get that for you, I promise.
I appreciate it. I really do.
All right, bye, guys. Love you all. Ensign signing off with random crewmate, who just kind of popped in like the queue. Yep. All right, bye, guys.
Random red shirt signing off.
Right.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, Enterprise, the two that they know they shouldn't have touched was the Borg and the Ferengi, but that, that's just my personal opinion. But yeah, I've never really wanted to. So.
I think the Borg made a lot more sense than the Ferengi. be quite honest with you. Because, I mean...
Really? It did? Yes.
Because it kind of
And,
tied
like...
back to the First Contact in that particular aspect.
Right. That, and then, of course, you know... you can add the fact that the temporal war, blah blah blah, this, blah blah blah, that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they gave the very easy scapegoat of a temporal war type shit,
Wibbly wobbly,
which
timey wimey.
yeah, which gets on my nerves in its own right. But I do enjoy it, kind of, you know, because it's been a thing that's been in Trek for a while. But it gets on my nerves. But yeah, I think in all honesty, if Hannah hadn't requested it to be done in chronological order, I don't think I ever would have done it. You know, but I'm glad that we're doing it because it, you know, some ways it makes a lot of sense. It answers a lot of questions that I've had. Personally, I'd love to see a series that's set up right after Enterprise. Honestly, that kind of ties in Enterprise into, you know, the from the Enterprise era into the Discovery, the Strange New Worlds original series era. You know, somewhere in there, you know, literally right after Enterprise, as they start to build the Federation and everything, and they start, you know, labeling out, you know, this is what...
Or even the Romulan War. I would love to see a show based around the Romulan War that happened, and on top of that, get the refitted NX class.
Right.
Like, give me that.
I will say I do love the NX look. I do love the NX design. Like, in all honesty, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know about this. This kind of sucks, but it's grown on me over the years. And I do appreciate it. Yeah, I do appreciate it. I love it. You know, because it's very much... And in the intro the Enterprise gave, you can definitely see how we got from Space Shuttle to the NX.
Mm-hmm.
And then from the NX, you can see how we get the Constitution class.
Especially when
we see in the original series.
Especially when you toss that refit in there and you can see...
Right. And so it makes a lot of sense. And I do, much as I can't stand the song, you know, just... And it's not because it's a bad song. It's honestly just because every other Star Trek show ever has always had a theme that had no words. They were like, we're going to be a show, definitely a product of the 2000s. This is definitely a 2000s TV show. We're going to have a singing theme song. You know, our song's going to be up there like the Smallville theme song.
Is like, it's just one of those things where you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah. And like I said, it's not a bad song.
I'm not the only one who loves this damn theme song. Like, there's a whole cadre of people who love the theme to Enterprise.
All over Star Trek and TikTok, people love that fucking song. And so I'm like, and I'm sitting here like, I just feel like the odd one out. Like, damn, am I missing something? Am I the dick here? Am I
maybe a little bit?
Am I the one with the wrong opinion? You know? But again, you take it away from Enterprise. You take it out of the context of the show. You listen to the song. It's perfect by itself. But I love the intro that it gave. I mean, the intro is... Enterprise is so different from any other Star Trek show for so many reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But the intro is the biggest standalone portion of that. And I think the intro does a great job of showing of where we were in that period of time. Space shuttle missions going up left and fucking right to here's what's going to replace the space shuttle to here's how we get from that to the NX class. Gives you that little bit of history there. And it shows the HMS Enterprise too. Like, it starts off showing you the HMS Enterprise, which is probably the most badass thing. Because the only other time we see the HMS Enterprise in Star Trek is Generations. When we see the crew of TNG for the first time on the big screen.
I mean, you can see it in the motion picture, but just not the actual ship itself.
Yeah.
It's a...
Yeah, you see like the little models and shit in the background, you know. But Yeah, and then Enterprise and Discovery. I mean, with the going back in time, I think if people were diligent about where we've been, we've already seen where it would be going as per the next series in line once you fill in that gap. Like, say, if we were going to make our own, that we talked about, like, in between the Enterprise B up to Next Generation, okay, well, we need to know, do the due diligence of this is everything that came before the Enterprise B. This is everything we know about the Enterprise B. And now we're heading out towards Next Generation. Here's what Next Generation knows. Now we know where we can work. Now we know where we can go, what we can do. Just do the due diligence.
Well, I was about to say that's like when I was brainstorming ideas for this for Yorktown. That's kind of I was like I'm like, man, do I want to put it in like the regular known Star Trek universe, or do I kind of want to do something new? That's kind of why I chose like during that middle in between area, because A, I know what comes before and what comes after. B, I've got a little bit more creative freedom than I normally would.
Right.
C, it gives a great opportunity to explore maybe some aliens or something that we've only ever seen in maybe 1 or 2 episodes.
Right. And then, other lost eras in between Voyager and Picard. There's so much to work with in there. So much.
Because I was about to say Nemesis happened in 2380 something.
Yeah. What's up?
I'm looking at it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, let's see. 2379.
Yeah.
And the earliest we see in Picard is in 2387. So we have 2387 to 2399, which is what?
About 12 years.
About 12 or 13 years, give or take.
Yeah. Yeah.
But which, see, Star Trek Lower Decks is kind of helping. They kind of helped cover that a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
But see, I'd go further. I'd go further as to go from 2379 to 2399. Go into,
the immediate aftermath.
Picard sets up a lot of, Picard sets up a lot of lore.
Mm-hmm.
From the very first episode, talking about synthetics are no longer allowed. And there's this whole battle that, they show bits and pieces of, but they never really show what the fuck happens. I want to see what the fuck happens. Show me. Take me to that era. Give me a movie about that war. Give me a movie about that era.
Well, it wasn't even a war. What happened was Utopia Planitia got destroyed.
Yeah.
But I do see what you're talking about.
There's so much from when we last saw the Enterprise to Picard that is just could be covered. Let's go further. Let's go past Picard. Let's go before. Give me something right after Zefram Cochrane. Right after Zefram Cochrane's flight. Give me that little build. What is it like seeing alien species on Earth for the first time? A species who has thought we were alone in the galaxy for years, but now I want to see, no, and don't even make it Starfleet. Nothing to do with Starfleet. The fucking make it like Han Solo, a Star Wars story. Okay, okay, crackpots, the Star Trek story, right? All those people that have been being made fun of for years, going, "We're not alone in the universe." Fucking aliens land on the surface of the Earth, and they come out of fucking hiding, fucking tinfoil hats, going, "I fucking told you so." Give me that.
I told you. You didn't want to listen, but I told you.
Give me that shit. Uh, give me some Romulan. Give me a Romulan series based around the Romulan Empire. Give me a Klingon series based around the Klingon Empire. There's so much that we could do with this. Give me a Borg movie about the beginning of the Borg. What started the Borg? How did the Borg happen? What goes on? Let's go back to the Delta
Quadrant.
Quadrant.
That'd be a touchy one for a lot of fans. Because there's a lot of theories on how the Borg started, and if they don't do it just right, which is why I don't think that honestly a Borg origin story, whether it be a series or a movie, I don't think it's ever going to happen. To be quite honest.
Yeah, fair enough. Because I mean,
there's just
there have been several comments.
So many theories about how the Borg started and what was going on there.
Yeah. Give me a short story about what happened with V'ger. After V'ger, after the motion picture, what the fuck happened to V'ger? Because that's a pretty big ass fucking thing to just never fucking see again. Just say, give me a Star Trek story type movie on the Eugenics War.
Yeah,
and about Khan.
War, yep.
Because we've seen bits and pieces of the Khan origin story, whether it was with Space Seed or with Wrath of Khan or with the Strange New Worlds episode where La'an Noonien Singh goes back in time. Give me, we've seen bits and pieces of it, but I want the full fucking story, and I want to see the war. I want to see what happens.
The Eugenics Wars.
Yeah. Give me a Q origin story.
Or even just even just the story based in the continuum.
Yeah. Right.
We got kind of a glimpse into it with Voyager, even more so than Next Gen. We got a pretty good glimpse into the continuum.
Yeah. Give me some Ferengi stories. There's so much that can be done with Trek that, in all honesty, I think, currently the potential is not being tapped into. We've seen Starfleet. We know Starfleet. Past, present, future, we know Starfleet. I want to learn about everybody else. We've seen bits and pieces of the Klingons, but I really want to know about the Klingons.
Mm-hmm.
From Enterprise to the original series to Next Gen, Deep Space Nine, all the way through, all the way up. We know a lot about the Klingons, but we don't know as much as I think we should.
Or heck, give us some info on what happened to the Cardassians after the Dominion War.
Oh, fuck yeah.
The formation of the Detapa Council and what the hell's going on there.
Or hell, even the Bajorans after the Dominion War.
Mm-hmm.
Give me some, fuck, I just had it. Give me some Vulcan stories. Yes, we know quite a bit about the Vulcans from Spock and T'Pol and Tuvok, but I want to see the Vulcans. Give me some Vulcan stories. Give me some Andorian stories. There's a species that, we know little to nothing about.
Mm-hmm.
And they're a major part of the Federation, a major part of Starfleet. Give me some Andorian stories, some Tellarite stories, some, something like that. Give us a show that focuses on the aliens. or like movies, one-off series. You know, Star Wars has been very good about doing shit like that. I will say, you know, with stuff like Rogue One or you know a Han Solo story, you know, Book of Boba Fett, Mandalorian. You know,
Andor.
they've gotten really good about showing other aspects rather than just the Jedi and the Sith. Why can't Star Trek do the same thing?
Mhm.
You know, and there are so many people out there. One of the people I follow on Star Trek TikTok, she does a Quark cosplay, and it's phenomenal. It is phenomenal.
It is
And it's
phenomenal.
scary. It is scary. You know who I'm talking about, right? This lady, this woman does a fucking 180 in and out of cosplay. In the Quark cosplay, you're like, holy shit, fuck yeah, we're rocking with Quark. And then you know, you scroll down on her page and you see her out of the cosplay, and you're like, how the fuck that make that? How the what in the witch hunting hell bullshit is?
I'm so confused.
I've never been more confused and horny at the same time.
And we're headed back to HR.
Fuck it.
Chuck it in the fucking bucket.
But no, you know, give me again. I would love to see a Ferengi. I think the Ferengi show should be written and filmed as a soap opera. There's no other way it can be done. Has to be a soap opera because the Ferengis act more like a soap opera than current soap operas do.
Have you seen any of Lower Decks yet?
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
Why?
There's an episode where the group goes to Ferenginar. And yeah, I'll let you figure that one out for yourself, but you'll enjoy it.
Let me guess, it's very soap opera-ish.
Not really. You see, Boimler gets caught up with Ferengi TV. Yeah. So I think you might be seeing where I'm heading with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Just yeah.
No, you know, because again, you know, the only other way you could film a Ferengi show, is if you're not going to do it like Days of Our Lives, make it the Real Housewives of Ferenginar. Okay, make it a reality TV show. That's the only two ways you could film the Ferengi. The Klingons, however, could only be done as the Real Housewives of Kronos. Okay, you could only film them as 100% a reality TV series. And I'd die to see it. I would die to see it. What's up? Okay. I'll come get some in a bit. But yeah. And then the Romulans, on the other hand. The Romulans are a daytime drama. The Romulans would be a Grey's Anatomy style show. 100%. Not quite soap opera, but just enough drama to keep it going.
Or heck,
Oh, that's a good question.
give us some more games. If you're not going to give us movies or series, give us games set during that.
Yes.
Games are like, you've already got books. Like, give us like games, something we can
something we can control. We can make the story up. You know, give us
we can visualize.
You know, there are so many games out there now where in the storyline you get to choose what happens. Like, there's a bunch of options. You know, you get to choose which option, and every option differentiates. So like, you could never play the game the same way. You know, every time you play the game, it's a different game. You know, because the amount of options it's going to give you and stuff like that. Give us something like that for Star Trek. Give us something just like that for Star Trek, because I think that would be phenomenal.
There is a game that's kind of choose your own adventure, like changes the story. It's called Star Trek Resurgence. It only came out like 2-3 years ago. It's really good. Really good. I plan on doing it on my channel one of these days.
Okay, so I've got a question for you. I've labeled out how the Klingons, the Ferengi, and the Romulans should be shot as for their series.
Oh boy.
How should the Vulcans be filmed? In your eyes, what type of show would the Vulcans show be?
Documentary.
Yeah.
There's like
that
no
tracks.
better answer than that. It's just
Yeah.
unless you want to be like really bored for 45 minutes.
Yeah. But okay, how would you shoot oh fuck. How would you shoot the Andorians? I mean, again, we know little to none about them, but take the Andorians and make them the Star Trek Enterprise Andorians, because that's the most we know about Andorians.
Probably like a prime time like cop show. You know what I mean? Like like on the realms of like NCIS or Hawaii 5-0 or SWAT or something like that. You see what I'm getting at?
Yeah. Dude, I can picture it now. On the next episode of Andoria.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Now, Ferenginar, I feel like would be best as a game show.
Okay. Yes and no. I kind of like. I think Ferenginar would totally be the soap opera, but I think when they go off planet, it turns game showy.
That's a good point.
Yeah. When you see them haggling, when you go to the markets, it gets very game showy. And like Japanese style game show too. Like not
Yeah.
an American game show.
Not
no,
American
Japanese
game
style
shows. We're
game
talking
show.
like, yeah, like you're getting hit in the balls with a fucking taser or some bullshit like that.
Right. Shit, I'd have the Tellarites. I'd film the Tellarites. Like, have you seen the show Wipeout?
Yeah.
I'd put
mean,
the Tellarites on.
I
some
was more
point.
thinking like a law show because they argue all the fucking time, but yeah, no, I guess
That's
Wipeout
true.
works too.
Yeah, yeah. Wipeout mixed with Jag, or
Yeah. Yeah, that'd track. Mm-hmm. You're right. Fuck you, but you're right. You see, the thing is, I know you're playing me here, but you're right.
and then just for shits and giggles, I think the Borg should be filmed as a comedy.
How?
You hate that answer. I know you.
I
hate
really
that answer.
hate that answer, and I really don't even know how that'll work. But I'm
Not
in.
just any comedy. No. A comedy horror. A comedy horror show. You know, like a haunted house.
Okay, I
You
can
know,
maybe kind of see it.
something like scary movie. Like
Oh yeah, if you do it like scary
Borg aren't making
movie.
you laugh.
Oh boy.
Like the Borg aren't making you laugh, but it's the reactions to the Borg that make you laugh. The Borg are very much the horror aspect of it, but the reactions are making you laugh the whole way through. That's how I get that.
Run, bitch! Run! Yeah. Okay. No,
How
I
fast
see,
you
I
think
see
you
how
gotta
that
be?
works a little bit better now.
How fast you think we gotta be? I don't know, but I gotta be faster than you, Trip. What are some other alien species we could have some good shows with? I'll tell you who's really the game show all the way through, the fucking Xindi. You give us back the Xindi, that's a fucking game show.
Yeah. No, yep, I don't know. I feel like the Xindi would be more like reality TV as well.
Yeah,
Because
that's
you got
fair too.
you got these
That's
four
fair.
different species all clashing with each other.
Yeah. Especially when you add the insects and the insectoids in there. The insectoids and the fucking lizards. That's when it
The
gets very
insectoids
much.
and the reptilians.
The reptilians, yeah. That's when it very much turns into the Real Housewives of Xindi. Iconians. How would you shoot the Iconians?
I don't know. That's an interesting one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Probably somewhere along the lines of 1,000 Ways to Die. You hate that I'm right.
Not just that, no, I can see 1,000 Ways to Die being the Klingons as well.
You could probably do 1,000 Ways to Die on most of the species that you find in Star Trek.
Don't like it.
This guy went up against a fully loaded Excelsior class starship.
And got his ass kicked. Wrong move, fucknut.
That little stunt, and it landed him in a hospital on Kronos to die later of his wounds, only to be dishonored by his entire family.
What a fucking like this.
But a Vulcan has to narrate the whole thing.
It's satisfying.
And that will be it for 1,000 Ways to Die, the Klingon stories. Live long and prosper.
So, to coin a human phrase, his ass was grass.
Oh, shit.
Hey, do something else.
Okay.
There's got to be one of those
holiday?
prejudiced Vulcans, like the ones you see that don't really like us at all.
Like, oh, fuck.
Ambassador Saval.
Yeah, I was trying to think of his name, and all that came to mind was Tran. I was like, no, Tran's fucking Andorian. No, I asked
Or
John.
or the Vulcan captain from Deep Space Nine that they played baseball against.
Oh, shit. Yes. I asked John, if the Andorians had their own show, what would it be like? He said cop. They're like a cop show.
Along the lines of NCIS, like Hawaii Five-0,
Yeah.
shows like that.
Yeah.
Okay. If Tellarites had their own show.
Oh, Tellarites, what did we say?
We were like
yeah.
Wipeout and
Take
Jag.
a law show. Yeah, take a law show and add a Wipeout onto it.
Hates
Like
its ring.
Wipeout the new show or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting concept, but it could work. It could work.
Battle Ryan?
Ooh, where would we put the Orions? That's a rom-com. No, the Orions are a rom-com.
Oh, yeah, that's a better answer than I was going to come up with.
What'd you have?
You don't want to know. Something that'll get me sent to
No,
HR.
no, I want to know.
It's something that'll get me sent to HR again.
Do it. Say it. Come on.
Porn. Just straight up porn. You were thinking it too. I was just brave enough to say it.
Boom. Ba-da-da-doom, doo-da-da-doom, doom. All right. Got some alone time, got my lotion, got my Kleenex. Time for some Orion Hub.
It's green instead of orange. Oh boy. Yeah, we're going to HR.
Warning, warp core breach a lot sooner than you think.
Mm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other styles of shows. So we've hit rom-coms. What would you give a straight comedy? What alien species would you give a straight comedy?
Honestly, I think we're the best for that.
Fair enough. Yeah, yeah.
Like I can't think of like maybe the Ferengi. Actually, no, I could see the Ferengi being straight comedy.
Yeah. Oh fuck. The alien species. That one dude that Wesley Crusher goes up against at the Academy. That gets the spot at the end of the day. What's his species? The blue
Benzite?
guy that has a little.
Yeah, Benzite. At least I remembered that.
Yeah, I'm over here blanking on. I'm like shit.
Yeah, I mean, I could see. Or Bolians. The ones that got
Bolians?
they're blue and they've got the split.
Yeah. Good war shows would be you couldn't have them separate. It has to be Cardassians and Bajorans get their own show together, and it's a war show.
I like that. I like that idea.
Oh man.
Or even like a war documentary.
Yeah, yeah. Like fucking Hacksaw Ridge or fucking a band of brothers.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Oh, what alien species would you give a sports show to? Like it's a sports game show. Like they have to do a bunch of obstacle courses and stuff like that.
Probably the
Klingons. Well, I think the Bajorans could do that as well.
Yeah.
The Bajorans would be really good at that one.
It's true.
Oh, what
like
the
that
fuck are they
giggle.
called? The Way In, right? Is that the name of the alien or is that the species?
The species is called the Vorta.
The Vorta, yeah. Oh, I'm trying to think.
One of like the religious channels. Like you know what I mean? Like all those like evangelical broadcasts back in the day. That's where I'd put the Vorta.
And the liquid said to the solid, "Come follow us. We will show you the way."
Exactly. Praise be the founders.
And now for $5.95, you can buy the Book of the Followers, and include it if you buy right now.
Yep. Exactly where I was going with that one.
No, fuck it. The sports show goes to the Jim Hadar. The obstacle course sports show goes to the Jim Hadar.
I like that.
Yeah. And the big prize at the end is a 50-gallon tube of Ketracel White.
Right. See, but the sports
shit.
show is run by the Evangelical Channel, you see. That's how.
Oh my god. Okay, a PG one that we could get the Orions would be a dance competition. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Dancing with the Stars or something like that.
Yeah.
I like that. That's like I said, the first one you said was already better than my answer.
Up next on Dancing with the Captains. Yeah, she was dancing. I was just. Well, you can see that on Orion Hub.
Oh Lord, we're horrible people.
Mm. Oh shit. Well, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab me some food real quick. I'll be right back.
Ooh. Well. Since I know you guys will be able to hear it better than Chris can, it'll be a little.
Yes, sir. Hailing frequency appears to be a ship, sir, of unknown design. They're charging weapons. Red alert, shields up. Forward shields down to 80%. Return fire. No discernible damage to the hostile ship. Photon torpedoes, fire! Still no discernible damage, Captain, but their shields are weakening. Helm, course 030, mark 413, then bring us about. Ready forward phaser banks. Course laid in, Captain. Forward phasers standing by. Execute.
So there you go. There was your little snippet of Star Trek Yorktown. Little 2-minute snippet.
Okay.
You can hear it a lot better on the actual broadcast than you can on Discord. I gave the viewers their little viewers and listeners are a little snippet.
Okay.
I know you've already heard.
Mm-hmm. All right, I was thinking of this while I was making my burger.
Oh boy.
You have one crew from any show we've seen for Star Trek.
Show and or movie or just show?
Show and or movie.
Okay.
To put through on like an America's Got Talent. Who are you using?
Through the Cerritos from Lower Decks.
See, I thought you were gonna go with that one. I was like in my head, I was like, he's either gonna go with Lower Decks or he's gonna go with Stranger Worlds.
I mean, I can also see the Enterprise D crew doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a viable option.
But see, like if the Enterprise D crew does it, I can see Geordi and Data coming out on the stage together and going into a full engineering lecture.
See, I thought you were gonna say like a show tune about engineering, like fucking show tunes, tunes.
Yeah, and then Riker gets on there. Riker's just turns it into a cooking show.
Cooking show or a trombone concert.
Right. No, give Q the judging panel at the America's Got Talent broadcast.
God.
All of a sudden, next thing you know, you hear Worf. I protest. I am not a merry man. No, I would give the Q Continuum the America's Got Talent show wholeheartedly. The Q Continuum has the talent show, hands down.
That's fair.
Whether they be the judges or the people on the stage, they have the talent show. What about the Elorians? I already got the answer. Never mind. The Elorians have Bar Rescue.
Oh, see, I was thinking like a late night talk show. like Jimmy Kimmel or
The Late Show with Guinan.
Exactly.
The Tonight Show with Una Chin Riley.
Well, she's an Illyrian. She's not an Elorian. Two different things.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
But I can totally see how that gets. They do sound very.
Yeah. But yeah, the Elorians get fucking talk shows.
Late night talk shows.
Yeah, damn it. Okay,
Who gets the third-rate variety shows?
What's up?
Who gets the variety shows like SNL or something like?
Oh shit. Again, the Ferengi come to mind. But I don't want to give them that. No. It's got to be a different species. Who do we give that to? Well, no, because Risa doesn't necessarily have their own species. Per se.
I mean, if it's a variety show.
That's true. I would put it on Risa, but I don't know who. I think the occupants, who's ever there on Risa, is on the show for the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like SNL.
Yeah. Yeah. You have your dedicated cast, but yeah, it's whoever pretty much shows up.
Well, and they're always Rysian. They do
Yeah.
have their own species there.
Yeah, you just don't really. Yeah, Star Trek never really talks about them all that much, to be
I think the
fair.
most we got was like Deep Space Nine and TNG, the 2 episodes we
Yeah.
got on Risa.
Because even when we were on Enterprise, I mean, they didn't really talk a lot about the people there.
Mm-hmm.
But oh, okay, you're giving an entire crew. You put them on SNL. An entire cast, an entire crew. You put them on SNL. Who gets that shot?
Original series.
Okay, definitely not where I would have gone with it. I would have done Deep Space Nine. I think Deep Space Nine would have a good hint at that. Okay,
Unlike,
who's on the talk show?
of course,
who's
I'm
on
thinking
Late
like
Night
I'm
again?
thinking of the more ridiculous episodes of the original series too. So
Who's on Late Night with Guinan? And it can't be the next gen.
Edward Jellicoe.
Remind me.
Okay, remember when Captain Picard and them went on like a secret mission and this really old dude took over the ship for a little bit?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That son of a bitch. And it would totally be like a what do they call that? Totally be like a slander type thing. Like they just brought him there just to piss him the fuck off.
Well, see, but then it wouldn't be Late Night with Guinan. It'd be more like Guinan or like Maury or Jerry Springer.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
I can see Guinan going for it though. God.
As far as like the late night, like what you were talking about,
Mm-hmm.
tough one. And when you say like next gen, you're like talking not the main cast.
Yeah, not the regular crew off of Next Gen, like because we've already seen Late Night with Guinan with the regular crew.
Good point.
I'd put 7 of 9.
That'd be a good one.
I'd put 7 of 9 up there.
Harry Kim.
Mm.
How does it feel still being an ensign after all these years? You should have known that one was coming.
You said you weren't bringing that up, Guinan. I'm walking out.
Yeah, it takes the mic off. It'd end up like that scene from Land of the Lost. Like, like he walks off and he comes back.
Have you seen the Ted TV show?
A little bit of it, yeah.
Have you seen the scene where they're sitting in church and Ted goes, "I'm just saying I might be Jesus."
I'm just saying, I might be Jesus. Yeah.
Kirk goes on the Vorta evangelical show. And I'm just saying I might be.
I might be Jesus. Yeah, that'd make way too much sense.
But he was born of nothing. He came from nowhere. Yeah, me. Fuck. Tell them about my adventures.
he loves everyone. I love you. Your move, Friar Tuck.
Hands down, one of my favorite lines in television ever.
Your move, Friar Tuck.
He was here to spread the message of love. I love you. Your move, Friar Tuck. But the founders, they say who live and who dies. Your move, Friar Tuck.
Yep. Oh boy.
I can see it too. He brings Spock and McCoy just to sit in the background and just.
Yep.
Why do we do this? Why do we let him do this?
Why do we let him do
that? He is your friend, Doctor. You should control him. Like hell.
Like hell, yeah.
Nerve pinch his ass already.
Like hell, nerve pinch his ass, you jackass. You green-blooded inhuman.
Imbecile. Okay, the crew that gets to be on Dancing with the Orions. What cast is that?
And just paying attention, and I come to the conversation. The crew that gets to be on Dancing with the Orion. What am I missing? Everything
A
apparently.
lot. You're missing a lot.
A lot.
Probably Enterprise
Sorry,
or Voyager.
Forward, I made a face.
Enterprise.
Now it's playing in my head. Hold on.
Yeah, because he Lieutenant Reed just sitting back there like, I can't wait for my turn.
You're right. Mayweather's mouth is just on the floor at this point, like.
Poor innocent Mayweather.
Poor innocent Mayweather.
Unless we're talking about Mirror Universe Mayweather.
Yeah, not.
What?
Give the Mirror Universe its own show. What kind of show is that?
Oh God. Propaganda. He just about. You can't tell me I'm wrong.
Raise your hand like me if you want cookies.
Oh boy.
And today's news.
Mirror Universe uniforms now.
In today's news, the Terrans take on the Klingon Empire. We wipe them out with 2 bombs. Here comes the sun.
Yeah. Precisely.
I'm so wrong for that.
Klingon Empire has has won the coin toss and has elected to receive. Oh boy.
Speaking of coin toss, okay. You have Starfleet. They're gonna play football. What crew from Starfleet is playing football, and what alien race are they playing against? American football.
That's a tough one. I'm probably still gonna say Deep Space Nine. Yeah, I feel like that's just the best answer.
Hold on. Can you also show him the back of the blanket?
Oh, that's cute. Adorable.
See, that's where we're different. I'd put Enterprise out there on the football field. I'd put Enterprise versus the Vulcans.
See, I'd put DS9 up against. If they could, I'd put DS9 up against the Borg playing football. I feel like that could ensue hilarity.
Mm. Fortnite Battle Royale. Who's your crew? Who's your 4 players? Who's your 4 people to play Fortnite Battle Royale with? So it's you and 3 others. You get 3 people from all of Star Trek. Yeah, Bubba.
Probably the Holy Trinity. Kirk, McCoy, and Spock.
That's a good answer. That's a good answer. I would have either Martok or Gowron. Depends who's online. Okay. Martok or Gowron. I'm gonna take Jean-Luc Picard. And give me Q. We're not getting anywhere, but it's gonna be a fun time.
Yeah, you'll get somewhere because Q will cheat.
That's true. Yeah. Next thing you just hear. Next thing you know, all the competition no longer has fucking guns or anything.
Right? You just hear.
What the fuck happened to my guns? All I've got is fucking snowballs. Mm. Trying to think of some other good. Okay. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Who's the 10 people on your team? There's you and 9 others. Who's the 10 people on your team? That's a full crew. That's a full cast of one show.
Right. Cisco, Worf, Janeway.
Okay. We're stacking it here. We're stacking it. All right.
Oh yeah, we're stacking.
Oh, and you're at the airplane, Matt. You're at the airport.
Okay. Yeah, still.
Not that matters much, but
yeah, Cisco, Worf, Janeway, Data.
Okay.
I need 5 more.
Yeah, 5 more.
Kirk. Tuvok.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta say that.
I'm almost hungry.
Yeah, so you got 3 more.
Martok.
Gowron or Martok, or Gowron and Martok?
And.
Okay.
What are we doing?
Brings you up to 8. You get one more.
What aliens you would have on a baseball team?
No.
That should be the next prompt.
No, we're on video games now. It's you're on Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. And you get 9 people to play with because 10 member teams. So it's you and 9 others.
And Tucker.
Okay. That's a solid choice. Solid choice. I think I'll take Martok, Gowron, Worf for sure. I'm gonna have Data, Geordi, Jean-Luc, Riker, Kirk. Do I want McCoy or do I want Spock? I'll take McCoy. Because McCoy's gonna have some fun banter with the Klingons that are on the team. Yeah. I don't need someone sensible in my ear trying to tell me, don't use your emotions, just kill the bastards.
8.
Oh, let's see. You're given any cast, any crew, and you can pick and choose. You get 9. Get 9 people. Again. To put in an adult animation film, such as The Simpsons, Bob's Burgers, Family Guy, American Dad, the works. Which 9 would you put in an adult animation film?
So Riker and Deanna. First off.
Yeah.
Bubba has opinions.
Data and Geordi.
Okay. Don't either. There's probably somewhere over there. I'll bet that.
Archer.
Okay. Oh, by the way, you can't use Jean-Luc Picard because he's already on American Dad.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Riker, Deanna, Geordi, Data, Archer. You get 4 more.
Rom and Quark.
Okay, for sure. For sure. Those have to be there.
Yeah.
Two more.
Paul and Tucker.
Yes. All right. Okay. Answering that same question, I'm going to go Quark and Rom. I'm going to go Kirk, Spock, McCoy. I'm also going to take the Geordi and Data. And then I'm going to add Worf. Who's my last one? Who would be a good one to pair up with Worf just to piss him off? Worf and Q. Then again, Q just being Q. Adult animation? Oh, that won't do. Live action. Make it a running joke, a running breaking the fourth wall joke that Q constantly tries to switch it back to live action. Adult animation. Well, I think this is a good place to stop.
I think so too,
How
because
about
we
you?
are 1 minute away from being 3 hours.
All right. Well, you've heard us talk a lot tonight about some of the stuff we're wanting to do, some of the places we're wanting to go. Again, guys, we are very seriously going to be trying to get into Star Trek Las Vegas 2026. That is a real thing that will be happening. The details of which, as it comes around into the next year, we will go over and iron out, lay out on the table for you guys so you guys can officially understand, know, and all that. Voyager season 1 and 2 in the books. We got 3 and 4. I'm going to be trying my damnedest to find some Voyager fans to get on the podcast to bring in so hopefully we can actually talk about it and not just fill the space with some random shit.
Well,
Just because Voyager's a little bit tough for us, but also we didn't do our homework, so there's that. But
certainly doesn't.
There's
help.
always a place for you.
Certainly doesn't help.
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, but there's always a place for you in Star Trek, as you know. That number is 988. Should you ever need it, and you can always talk to me on my personal TikTok, which is the guy that cosplays over on TikTok. Also follow our Two Captains One Pod there on TikTok, on Spotify, and Captain Hudson on YouTube. It's Captain Yarbrough signing out.
Captain Hudson signing out. Fuck is